22nd year as the head coach of K-State. We say he's dominated this rivalry 17-4 in this rivalry alone. It's a rather impressive run, over 100 wins during the Big 12, during his Big 12 career. Meanwhile, Charlie Weiss, in just his second season, he loved the way his team practiced this week, and he said it'll be a much different team this week than what he saw last week against Iowa State.
Yeah, very interesting on the call yesterday. You asked him right off the top, Coach, are there any changes in your team? And immediately he said, no changes. Well, there's one big change. You'll see a different football team out there, I guarantee it. We're about to find out, aren't we?
We are. Ja'Cory Shepherd is back deep to receive for KU. It's the 111th Sunflower Showdown from Lawrence, Kansas, and Shepherd will return it from a yard deep, and the pressure is there immediately by K-State special teams. Logan Stevens came up to make the special teams tackle for K-State. All right, so here we go. Kansas for the first time out on offense, and for the first time, Montel Cozart, the freshman, will be part of this rivalry.
And you know, he took over for Jake Heaps. And if you talk to Charlie Weiss, the reason why we see Cozart on the field right now instead of Jake Heaps is because of the offensive line for Kansas. They've been struggling in pass protection, and so they felt like they needed to put a little bit more agile, athletic quarterback in there to compensate for the shortcomings of that offensive line of Kansas.
Pistol formation right out of the chute, off the play fake, and the fake on the end around. Cozart to throw. He has time, and he just lets it loose out of bounds. Christian Matthews was the intended receiver.
And how about Kansas? So Charlie Weiss throwing a little curveball off the bat there. You know, I'm sure Kansas State was expecting some running, some power football, but lo and behold, they come to throw it.
Hey, well, how about Kansas State being curveball hitters?
Oh, yeah.
Look at how well played. I mean, there was a lot going on in the backfield there, and that's one thing you expect. Charlie Weiss says they're not trick plays, they're well-timed plays, and they ran a couple early in the game last year.
Well, here's Sims with his first carry. He takes it up to the 13, so a gain of 2. Blake Slaughter in on the tackle.
You see that read option play here. You know, it's basically just assignment football. And James, you touched on it before. This Kansas State defense is disciplined, assignment sound. And you see that right there where they got all their bases covered in terms of their read option to dive the quarterback in the pitch.
Sergeant Slaughter, 88 tackles, leads the team. We'll see a couple great linebackers playing today.
Here's Cozart. He'll roll the pocket to the far side under pressure, and he tries to dump it off and throws it out of bounds. So Blake Slaughter again on the pressure.
And again, you're going to see Blake Slaughter there in his linebacker position. He's just going to be mirroring the quarterback, basically, because he's going to have what they call force. And basically, if Cozart gets outside of the defensive end, then Blake Slaughter's got to come in to make sure that Cozart, one, does not run with the ball and gets rid of the ball, which he did right there. Again, sound defense by Kansas State, getting off the field, giving their offense now an opportunity to put some points up on the board.
Jermaine Thompson back deep to receive for K-State. And it's not a great punt, but it's going to bounce along the carpet, and Thompson will try to return it, and nothing doing. Stop basically at midfield.
86 Thompson. Stop made by number 58.
All right, let's take a look at the impact players. We'll begin with Kansas State on the offensive ends.
Well, and off the top, Brady told you all about Tyler Lockett. You'll see him throughout the day, but they have to be able to run the football. OU could run on them, and they could not run it at all. 24 yards rushing, so of course, you're going to get Lockett, but you're going to need Hubert more than anything. Ben Heaney will be there to stop him. You better believe that. And INT DMC, Dexter McDonald, doesn't get the ball thrown away a lot because he is just that good. He can lock him down.
So Waters starts as the quarterback hands it off to Hubert, and he's stopped for a loss of 1 on the play.
And right off the bat, guys, Kansas, they are going to say, look, we're going to dare you guys to throw the ball, which, by the way, is a dangerous proposition when you're dealing with a guy like Tyler Lockett, because we saw Ja'Cory Shepherd down, the number 24 for Kansas, one-on-one on an island with Lockett. So right now we're going to see this little chess match between Kansas State's offense and Kansas's defense as to what kind of coverages and defenses we're going to see.
Courtney Amick made the tackle. Lockett's in motion on 2nd down at 11. Handoff goes to Hubert, trying to find a little daylight. Boy, what great coverage by K-State's defense on this series.
Well, here's the 1-2 we talked about on the offensive side of the ball. And just getting back there. What a great job there setting the edge. of that defense just to make sure that they've got it locked down the corner. Nowhere to run for Hubert.
Yeah,
but that's
Courtney,
bringing the punch.
That was Courtney Arnick right there, who really made the play. Although he didn't make the tackle, he's the one who set the edge, like you said, James.
So 3rd down and 13. Hubert in the backfield as Waters is wrapped up and taken down inside the 40. The pressure came from the outside from Ben Goodman.
Oh, I love it. This is what you call, guys, good coverage. You see Ben Goodman there just fighting, scratching, then you see him right there flip the top of his body. Basically just swivel his upper body to where his surface area becomes too small for the offensive guard at that point to really block him with. So nice mechanics there by Ben Goodman to get in there for a nice coverage sack for that Kansas defense and get the ball back to their offense now.
Mark Krause on to pump the ball away, and he just gets it off. Connor Embry back deep to receive. What a high, booming kick, and Embry calls for the fair catch.
You see him try to sell it, no flag though.
Well, a great start for Kansas's defense so far in this first quarter. It's been an amazing weekend in college football. It's going to be a great day, and it begins here at Kansas. First two series, one for each team. Nothing really to show for it. James Sims has touched the ball one time so far for KU. A little bit of a pro set formation with Brandon Bourbon in the backfield along with James Sims. Cozart out of the shotgun. And a little delay, gives it to Sims, goes right up the middle, and he's trying to move the pile forward. Let's take a look at our impact players on the offensive end for KU and the defensive end for K-State.
Yeah, for Kansas offensively, it's all about James Sims. That's where the offense begins and ends. They have to be able to run the football. And then obviously that means that the offensive line, you got Nalu Kusimalowi that's going to be leading the way. But heck, we could put any offensive lineman for Kansas up there on the board because it's all about the offensive line creating space for the running back to run. And then on the defense, you got Ryan Mueller. He's got to be the tone setter for the run defense for Kansas State. And then you got the backup secondary guy, Dylan Schellenberg, that has to be able to step up for the absence of Ty Zimmerman.
Pretty athletic play right there by Cozart to take that high snap and give it to Sims, who gets close to a first down. Jonathan Truman on the tackle.
Well, Cozart, we saw him come in against Oklahoma State, and he's got such a natural feel. There you see the athleticism. He's cool for a freshman. He's a Kansas kid too. He, you know, and from right around this area, Kansas City, Missouri, rather. But there are only 22 Kansas guys on this Kansas team, and 60 for K-State. But we're seeing right now, when you don't try the trick play, you just pound it a little bit and it works.
Well, he's having trouble with the last two snaps, but he can run it for positive yards. A gain of 4 on the play. Blake Slaughter makes the tackle. What's going on with these snaps here, boys?
Sometimes it's the weather that plays a little role in this because they get these brand new balls right out of the package, and you know, get the weather's a little cold, so the balls get a little harder. And you know, for Cozart, you just got to look that in all the way. You see him turning his head there before the ball really gets into the breadbasket. And so, as a good coach once told me, you got to catch the ball first with your eyes, then you know.
2nd down and 6. The handoff goes to Sims, who lowers his shoulder. Boy, he was powerful right there. Barnett and Slaughter make the tackle, but it's a gain of 5.
Well, that's the want-to that we called for off the top. Watch James Sims. Great job up front to set the edge, and then Slaughter's low. But man, you better bring a load today, because James Sims does not want to leave Lawrence, saying he never beat Kansas State.
And Cozart with the quarterback keeper has the first down across the 40. Slaughter again with the tackle. He already has 4 tackles, guys, on the first 2 series. And
he's the man in the middle for that Kansas State defense. I mean, he's, you know, we talk about Ryan Mueller being the tone setter, but he's the guy that lines everybody up, makes the calls. And when you're a huddle-type defense, not that they huddle a lot talking about Kansas State, but the guy that they look to every single time because he's making the calls is Slaughter. So Slaughter's got to be that bell cow in the middle of that Kansas State defense.
5 plays on this drive, 5 runs. Off the play fake, Cozart will keep it himself. Trying to get to the edge, and he dives forward for a couple. Ryan Mueller with the tackle.
And here comes Ryan Mueller. Ryan Mueller can turn it on, that motor, when he wants to and just grind out a sack. But he's also smart enough to know that he can use his hands. Watch him here on the end. He's just going to use his hands and come free right off the edge. And you see how he flattens? A lot of guys, they'll take a bad angle and miss. He knows, hey, I'm going to make this spin, and I'm going to flatten because Cozart can get around the edge and make me pay. He's just a good football player, fun to watch.
Stunning that he had no scholarships coming out of high school from FBS schools. He earned one at K-State, Kozart under pressure, and he throws the interception. It's caught at the 46 by Schellenberg, who's going to be a big piece to the puzzle for the K-State defense today.
Schellenberg stepping up right at the right time, but the real reason why this interception was thrown, you're going to see Trey Walker coming through here, batting the arm of Kozart as Kozart's trying to make the throw there, and Kansas State with a huge turnover.
So K-State has flipped the field. Great field position with their second series when we return. Time now to look at today's Chevy Keys to Success. Take it away, Brady.
Yeah, for Kansas State, they have to make Kansas beat them with the explosive plays through the air. They're going to do that in two ways, by stopping the run and by putting points up on the board.
Rise and shine, KU. Get up and get going early. Get that bad taste out of your mouth from last week, the shutout at Iowa State, and get on the good side of this rivalry. And well, they looked like they were moving the football, but a big turnover here. They're going to have to ask their defense again to step up.
Waters off the play fake, has plenty of time in the pocket, and rolls to the right. Pass is complete to the right. And that's the first catch of the day for Tyler Lockett. It's a gain of 17.
And look who's there, turning and burning, Ben Heaney, to go run him down. Here's the outside look now, and there's our guy Dexter McDonald. McDonald is a great cover guy, but Lockett can break him off with the best of them and sends him sailing.
So look at that sidearm pass there by Waters there, and that's what they call basically scramble rules. And that means that as soon as the quarterback starts to scramble, the receivers look for open space and look to give a big target to the quarterback.
Morrell in motion for K-State. Gronkowski in for the first time, and Hubert's going to try to follow his block. But he's tripped up across the 35, a gain of 3 on the play. Cassius Sendish makes the tackle.
And yes, Dad was a Muhammad Ali fan. That's Cassius. Well, Cassius, he's done a great job against the run, but that's where you can lull a team to sleep. When you're having some success on the run and you get those safeties trying to help out a little bit extra, you can get hit up top for a big play action pass.
Hubert comes out as a receiver, guys, to the near side. It's second down and 8 from the 35. Waters does this a lot. He'll run up to the line of scrimmage and then just dump it off, and he has Trujillo for the first score of the day. 35-yard touchdown pass.
It's almost not fair, guys. This run pass option, watch, you're going to have a blitzing Heaney right here. Go ahead and play it and watch everybody else. They've got to go take care of the run. Here's the safety we were just talking about. This time it's Isaiah Johnson. It's a clear shot. I'm going to go hit Waters. No, you're not. You're going to get one dumped right over your head for an easy walk-in for the first touchdown of the day.
He was awfully close to the line of scrimmage, but he did that all day long last week against Oklahoma. Patterson on for the point after, and K-State has the early lead, 7-0 with 7:50 to play here in the first quarter. Well, K-State ran that a dozen times last week against Oklahoma. K-State is 4th in the Big 12 in scoring points per game. This one off a turnover, 3 plays and 54 yards. And for Trujillo, it's his first touchdown reception of the year. So now Patterson will kick it off. Connor Embry is back deep to receive for the Jayhawks. So is Ja'Cory Shepherd. Shepherd returned the first kickoff of the day for KU. Ian Patterson kicking for the injured Jack Cantelli. And Shepherd's just going to take a knee, so KU will begin 1st and 10 from the 20. Take it away, or from 25. Take it away, James.
All right, here's Trujillo. Now keep an eye right here on the backer. This is Michael Reynolds. He's got to help by getting a hand on the tight end. Also, of course, Isaiah Johnson's going to come into the picture. Go ahead and play it now. And here you're going to see there's just a fan right there, too easy. And Isaiah Johnson coming down from his safety spot. Boy, is he ever in a bad situation. There was such a wide gap there, Brady. It was almost like the stun up front. 2 guys weren't on the same page with Heaney blitzing, and it just opened wide up. And Isaiah Johnson, he couldn't win. Stepped up, tried to make a stop on the run, and well, they popped it right over the top.
On 1st down, Sims will run it to the right, gets up to the 30. Barnett with the tackle, so a gain of 5. James, yesterday Charlie Weiss said it concerned him more that Waters was the quarterback than Sams because of what he just was able to do.
Right, and Waters will surprise you. He can tuck it and go a little bit too, so you have to respect it. You know, you get these drop back passers, and what a luxury for a defense, for a defensive coordinator. But when you've got a guy that is a definite two-go option, oh, it makes it so tough. It can give you nightmares.
On second down again, it's Sims. We thought we'd see a lot of him today, and he's carrying the ball for a gain of 3. Valentino Coleman makes the tackle for K-State.
Now, Kansas State fans, Big 12 fans for that matter, have seen this play a lot, Brady, and people will say, well, how do you stop that? Because they've had so much success with it. And really it goes back to physical football. If you jam that guy at the line. Think about it. If it is a run, you're winning the battle. If it's a pass, well, you've helped out your teammates as well. But you've got to be physical every single play, and you can't take a play off.
Play clock down to 8. Again, it's Sims trying to find a little daylight for the first down, and he stood up right at the 34.5-yard line by Trey Walker.
Speaking of which, here's Mueller. Mueller will not get credited with the tackle right here, but watch him come knifing through the penetration from the big defensive end. Watch Mueller right here, 44. Just watch what he does to get upfield and to turn it in right now. He gets outside, fights his way up, and then you've got all those silver hats to come help you out.
All right, Brady, how about this? 4th down, and KU's offense is still on the field.
I like it. And this is what they need, because I think Charlie Weiss understands something. If they want to stay in this game, they're going to have to find a way on this drive to get points, because they can ill afford, talking about Kansas, to get down by 2 scores, 10 points, because that then makes it to where it's very difficult for them to run the football.
Pretty tight along the line of scrimmage. The handoff to Sims, who's got the first down.
And this is just a simple play where you're just saying, hey, we're going to come out you know where we're coming. Hopefully we can just get a yard, which, by the way, they did there. But the thing is we covered a game a number of weeks ago where Charlie Weiss went for it on 4th down 3 times against Louisiana Tech in the first drive of the game. So Charlie Weiss isn't afraid to go for it, not punt, if he feels like the situation calls for it.
It's pretty impressive, though. That's aggressive right there, as Sims on 1st down is stopped at the line of scrimmage. Mueller came up to clean things up, but Marquell Bryant was the first guy to hit him.
Guys, so far, one theme that has really stuck out to me about Kansas State's defense, we talked about, James, how disciplined they are. But another thing that they're showing on all levels is how well they tackle. Guys are squaring up the runners. They're tackling with low pad level. They're popping, and ultimately they're wrapping up the ball carrier. And that's going to bode well for Kansas State and their ability to stop the run.
On 2nd down, 3 receivers off to the left, and Kozart will throw. And the pass is completed across the 40 to Justin McKay. So gain of 6.
Yeah, and you know what? If you don't have a toss play in your playbook, you got a little flare pass that replaces the toss play, and that's essentially what this is. It's an extended run, a high percentage throw for Kozart, and just putting a playmaker in McKay out in space, let him get some 6 yards, and you got yourself a manageable 3rd down.
And you just talked about how well coached they looked tackling. I think that's a perfect example as well. Outside, they run a little bubble screen. They know what they're trying to do. And one guy goes in the tack snap blocker and keep an outside guy and an inside guy.
Well, here's Kozart. He's going to tuck it, and he's going to dive for the first down.
Wow.
Blake Slaughter, Ryan Mueller, both in on the tackle for K-State, a gain of 5.
And this is why they have Kozart in the game, because of this particular play. I mean, this is a play that's really supposed to be a dead play. You got Slaughter there chasing it down, but because of Kozart, and James, you mentioned it, Kozart's one of those deceptive kind of runners where he's just a smooth, relaxed runner. You really don't think he's running that fast, but lo and behold, he's running away from it. And that's why Kozart's in the game, because of those plays.
Bourbon is able to get up to midfield. A gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Blake Slaughter again in the tackle.
And that's fine. Hey, Brandon, give me 2, give me 3. Don't get stuffed at the line. Don't give me, you know, Charlie Weiss talked about a well-timed play, not a trick play. You know, first play out, and they come with the trick play. They try to razzle-dazzle a little bit. K-State shut them down. Now you get behind the sticks. You're not exactly where you want to be, but you got a couple positive yards. Now get 4 here.
Now they're really leaning on Sims, which we did expect. I mean, he's carrying the ball more often than not in this first quarter. A gain of 2 there.
Because in reality there, Tom, that's how this team is built right now. When you talk about Kansas, they're struggling through there. Heck, they're struggling protecting their, between quotations, pocket passer, who was Jay Keeps. So now they have Kozart out in the field. So really, this is the only chance that Kansas has, and that is to lean on James Sims and this running game.
Charlie Weiss said, you know, Jake Heaps is a talented kid. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He said, I just needed a little misdirection. That's why Cozart's starting. And that looks like a botched play. Sims ran right, Cozart stepped left, and Schellenberg stepped up to make the tackle, loss of 4.
Yeah, this is one where you got to be on the same page. This is what they call an unforced error. Just a lack of communication. You're exactly right, Tom. Look at Sims goes one way, and it looks like there was supposed to be some kind of read option mesh element there, wasn't there, and Kansas obviously had it bottled up. But Kansas can ill afford to do that. That's one thing you can't do in these games. You cannot kill yourself. Like, James, you've been mentioning, you have to stay on time and you have to execute.
Pardua on the punt for the Jayhawks. Boy, it's not a good punt at all. Off the side of his foot, it bounces at the 32. And it'll stop inside the 32-yard line. That punt is only 21 yards for the Jayhawks. So Kansas State off a turnover. Takes the early lead, 7-0. They'll get the ball back when we return to Lawrence. Let's take a look at our featured stat brought to you by FedEx. You know, since 1969, the winner of this game wins the Governor's Cup. It's the 111th meeting between Kansas State and Kansas. Although Kansas has more wins, K-State under Bill Snyder has really dominated. It's 17-4 in the last 21 games.
That Governor must have been a catcher.
I get it. I get it.
On first down. Well, from FedEx's standpoint, it is the 9th active streak of games between two rivals in college football. There's Hubert with his best run of the day, gain of 11.
How about the block, Gronkowski out on the edge to go low and cut the defensive back to allow the backs to run free. You know, all jokes aside, Tom, rivalries, isn't this a great day? Oh. It's just, you know, whether you're a team in Florida State that's going into Gainesville and playing for a chance to go play for a national championship, or you're the Florida Gators or the Kansas Jayhawks, this is a bowl game, and this is what it's all about. You still got a chance.
And for Hubert, some daylight and a beautiful spin move inside KU territory. How about him pounding the legs?
When you get old Hubert there, you know what? He's not the biggest guy when you talk about his height, but the guy can run. And the thing that I think, James, when you go against these smaller type backs, they get lost behind these big offensive linemen. And lo and behold, they pop out of there like they come out of thin air, basically. And there was a great block there by Cody Witter, left guard there. Kansas State's offense really set that play up.
So a gain of 24. Again, pistol formation. We have not seen Sams yet. It's been all Waters so far for K-State. Gronkowski in motion, off the play fake, Waters to throw. Looks left, Tyler Lockett, second catch of the day. A gain of 11 on the play, so he's got another first down.
And that comeback route for Tyler Lockett's going to be there all day. And that's because all the defenders on Kansas, they're worried about his speed. They're worried about having to cover him vertically because he can blow the top off of defenses. Talking about Tyler Lockett there. And so that's what you're seeing is basically the defender having to play the vertical threat. Tyler Lockett putting his foot in the ground and just coming back. Easy pitch and catch for the quarterback.
Ja'Cory Shepard in on the coverage. Shepard, the converted wide receiver. Very talented athletically. A pretty good freshman year as a receiver. Here's Hubert again. Third time in this drive. Third time with some big yards. And he's got some daylight into the end zone. Touchdown K-State. 21 yards for John Hubert.
And Hubert there displayed what all good running backs have, guys, and that is vision. Because you're going to see Hubert, he's going to be pressing the edge out here. And he's going to be going out. And he's going to see that the defense, you'll see it here, the defense is set, the edge is set, but then he cuts it back right there as he feels and senses there's a hole on the backside of that cut and is able to put his foot in the ground and run for the touchdown.
So Hubert with the 21-yard touchdown run. Patterson on for the point after. And it is 14-0 in favor of Kansas State. 56 yards on that drive alone by Hubert. running the ball 3 different times.
Well, we've made a big deal about the vision. Watch Gronkowski. Stop it right there for me, guys. You're going to see Gronkowski come here. Earlier, we saw Arnick step up and go meet a blocker, go blow it up, and that blows the whole play up. But now you're going to see Darius Willis is going to come into the picture there. You see him catch? If you catch, that hole just gets so much bigger. And when you've got a back that can put his foot in the ground and go like Hubert, and with vision, look at that cut. Wow, and he's gone. Great job.
And on that particular play, James, that's one of those plays where you're pulling the guard, you got the fullback coming back, it's a counter play, pull play, and it's a two-way go for the running back. And what that means is, depending on how the blocks all pan out, he's either going to take it outside or he's going to cut it up there. So it is of the essence that the running back has a good feel of where the gaps are ending up being, and that's what John Hubert did right there with his vision.
And then that 1-2 punch, Tom, boy. You can't wait to see little Robert Rose go in there, another senior back from Miami. Boy, is he ever fun to watch. Only 5'4", can hide in there amongst those trees.
Shepard shields his eyes from the sun. He'll return it from the 1, gets along the hash mark and across the 20 to the 25-yard line. Now it's time for a Lowe's Never Stop Improving game break. Here's Patrick O'Neill. Patrick?
All right, thank you. Number 3, Ohio State at Michigan. A Michigan car dealership promised to give free cars if the Wolverines shut out the Buckeyes. Braxton Miller said, no free cars on my watch. To Devin Smith, 53 yards. We're tied at 7. Tom, James, and Brady, back to you.
All right, Patrick, thank you very much. Now, that's a rivalry game, too, right there.
Yeah, apparently that car owner didn't have a lot of confidence that Michigan was going to shut out Ohio State, because I don't think he would ever made that offer available.
Well, Jake Heaps in the game for the first time for KU. And the first pass of the day for him is over the middle, incomplete. And boy, Charlie Weiss talked about that a lot yesterday. All the drop passes, that one by Terzilli.
Yeah, but the thing is, guys, Kansas is down 14-0. So they're really, their only way to stay in this game and to be competitive is they have to start to now attack through the air. That's why you're seeing Jake Heaps out there. Jake Heaps is there between, again, pocket passer, their thrower. And so this is an adjustment as Charlie Weiss sees the situation, is they got to throw the ball to get back into this game.
On second down at 10, Heaps again to throw. Looks like he's trying to set up the screen, and he just throws it away. Boy, there was nobody in the area whatsoever. Marquell Bryant was in on the pressure for K-State.
Yeah, that was a confusing play because you got a wide receiver that was sort of running off of defensive back.
Intentional grounding by number 9 of the offense. It's a loss of down at the spot of the foul. It's third down.
Well, he's inside the tackle box. There's nobody there for him. Now, see, and I don't know that I really agree, Brady. What has Kansas had any success at all in doing today? Hounding the football. There's a lot of football to be played. Yes, it's 14-0, and yes, everybody gets that sense, oh goodness, here we go again. But there's way too much football to say now we got to come out slinging it through the air, when the bit of success we have had against this K-State defense is James Sims and just being more physical. But they've got to take care of the football, especially right here.
Well, it turns out to be a loss of 9, guys, so it's third down and 19 from the 16. Off the play fake, Heaps is in trouble, and he is thrown down at the 5.
Ooh, that's my kind of play right there by Ryan Mueller, ladies and gentlemen. One of the top sack artists in the country. And he gives the old offensive tackle what they call the little okey doke. Basically what he does is Ryan Mueller's going to fake like he's going to go upfield and then gives a spin move inside and makes a huge sack on a 3rd and long there for that Kansas State D.
Give some credit to Finau, too, to help clean that one up.
Kansas
That's going to be the
first
timeout for K-State with 7 seconds to play.
And you're going to see Ryan Mueller right here, guys. And you're going to see him fake like he's going upfield. See him? He gets the tackle, the bite, and then he spins under. And it's like, you know, they talk about pass rushers. You have to have the same mentality as a pitcher. You give him some fastballs, go upfield, and all of a sudden you give him a little changeup right there. It was just a little spin move inside. That's beautifully done by Ryan Mueller. That play right there, that pass rush was set up by previous pass rushes that he did by running up the field to convince the tackle that he's going to go upfield. That's why he's one of the best sack artists in the country there, ladies and gentlemen. The guy rushes with a purpose, and he has a strategy about himself.
And a great smile over there as well. And you know, it's tough to get a compliment out of his head coach, Bill Snyder, but he says nobody practices harder than number 4. Nobody.
The other thing, too, is that he's part of this rivalry. His dad was a walk-on here at Kansas. A lot of guys who have sort of cross relations between these two schools. Another punt that's shanked by KU, and it takes a K-State bounce at the 34 with 4 seconds left. Well, the wind must be a huge factor for Bill Snyder to use that timeout right there, and it pays off because his team's going to have great field position.
Well, and this guy right there, Pardula, it's, you know, oh, you look at Kansas, gosh, they're struggling this year. James Sims is a bright spot. Another bright spot is Pardula. When we came, Brady, and did that Louisiana Tech game earlier this year, number 16, he was the MVP. He flipped the field so many times. He did struggle early with one punt. Now here's two ugly punts.
Yeah.
And look at this. Right back knocking at the door in great position is K-State.
So Waters stays in as the quarterback with 4 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Play clock was winding down, and it's going to be a delay game against K-State. Waters is saying, wait a minute, did the play clock reset?
Delay of game by number 15 of the offense. The 5-yard penalty, and it's still first down.
Fox College Saturday presented by K Jewelers continues next as Iowa State takes on West Virginia on Fox Sport 1. Then 25th ranked Notre Dame battles 8th ranked Stanford on Fox. Fox Sports is your home for college football all week long. Some great games yesterday too on Fox, including Oregon, Oregon State, Washington, Washington State. Here's Waters running the option for Hubert, and Hubert along the outside gets across the 30. Heaney comes in to make the tackle. Offensive snaps and 131 yards, including those 2 scores.
And their offense has been spearheaded by the running game. John Hubert, he's been the MVP for Kansas State's offense up until this point.
7 carries already for Hubert in the first quarter. Guys, he only ran the ball 9 times last week against Oklahoma. Out of the pistol formation in the play fake, Waters looking to throw. On the run, and his pass is incomplete. He tried to find Trujillo again. That ball kind of just floated out there, though.
Yeah, and it was well covered there on the back end. You know, you got Ja'Cory Shepherd there. He's matched up on Lockett. I mean, he's pretty much been matched up on him all game long, and Lockett really hasn't had any big plays. You got to give some credit to this secondary for Kansas being able to minimize the big plays. Not that they've really been in a position to give up big plays, because Kansas State's pretty much been on Kansas' side of the field pretty much this whole first quarter so far.
Mentioned Ja'Cory Shepherd as a freshman, was a wide receiver. Had 487 yards receiving that year. Here's Waters running up to the line of scrimmage, and he has Gronkowski wide open for another touchdown. Second time he's run that play, and the second time he's hit his tight end, this one for 29 yards.
No block, no rock. Here's Gronkowski right here. He's been blocking his tail off the whole game. All these linebackers respect that. Look at Love. Love goes up to try to pop him, runs right by him. That's the quandary there that you've got when you've got Jake Love. You got any of those linebackers, my goodness, I've got to go deliver a blow to him right now. No, you slipping right on by him, and that is 2 touchdowns that have just been way too easy because of that ball play.
Patterson's point after is good. The 2 tight ends in today's ball game have got scores for K-State. Reception. 3rd touchdown reception of the season for Gronkowski. So Patterson will kick off. Ja'Cory Shepherd is back deep to receive with Connor Embry. Kansas is going to have to find something offensively here, because they're in a huge hole here in the first half. Patterson gets that one caught up in the wind. It goes out of bounds. So it'll be good field position for Kansas.
Free kick out of bounds by the kicking team. By rule, the ball is placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
All right, boys, this was a pretty well-designed play by K-State.
And it was very similar to Trujillo's earlier. Here's Gronkowski, and here's Love. Now watch as they run this play. Love is going to step up. He has a good read on the fullback, but right there, he just olays him and lets him run right past. Even if it is a run, he's got to go meet him. And you need to, the further back you meet him in the line, the more you can mess up. You talk about penetration. You talk about these defensive ends, defensive tackles getting penetration. Will you read it? Get off the spot, which he does, and go make it, but you got to blow him up. So you blow him up, and think about it. You manhandle him a couple times, and you take that play out of the package.
Well, here's Sims trying to answer it. He gets 8 on first down. Slaughter with the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, and they still got Jake Heaps in the game, and I think, you know, Jake Heaps really hasn't had any time. And so basically what they're trying to do, Kansas, is run the ball, obviously, like what Kansas is known to do, and they do very well. And then set up some play action pass to help that offensive line protect Jake Heaps.
Again, Sims hit at the line of scrimmage by Mueller. He may have gotten the 1st down, though, guys, with forward progress right there. Oh, they're saying the ball came loose. Wait a minute. It looks like K-State is signaling that they have the football, and now the officials are signaling the same thing.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by Kansas State. 1st down.
Yeah, it looked like to me when Mueller came in for that tackle, he clubbed across the body there, dislodging the ball. You're going to see it right here. Mueller's going to come down, boom. His right arm comes across and punches the ball out. That is a legitimate fumble, ladies and gentlemen. And Dante Barnett on the recovery there. Huge play again by our guy, Ryan Mueller.
Be interesting, though. You heard the whistles in the background. You wonder if they look at this and they say, all right, he's going to be down on the whistle, and now they're going to review it. Yeah, they're going to take a look at it, it looks like.
Oh, actually, that ball wasn't coming out as it looked like from that other angle.
Yeah, guys, I don't know about you. I heard the whistle before I saw the ball come loose. Now, I could be way off in my timing, but I did hear the whistle.
Yeah, from that back angle, too, it didn't look like the ball was actually dislodged as when I thought it was when
there is no challenge of the play.
All right, so it is going to be a turnover. It's the 2nd turnover of the game already for Kansas. K-State will have it 1st and 10 from just inside the 45 of the Jayhawks.
Yeah, you see that ball still in there, so must have been in the middle of that. It must have came out. But for Kansas, this is huge. They have to find a way to get a stop here. Get a stop, Kansas.
All right, pistol formation again. It's been all Waters. Waters and Daniel Sams has split time for most of this year. Last couple weeks, not so much. And the handoff goes to Hubert, running left, has some blockers. And he's going to get 8 yards on that run. Let's take a look at our Ford stat comparison from the 1st half. Sorry, the Lincoln 1st quarter stats brought to you by the Lincoln Motor Company.
And look at that time of possession there for Kansas State. You're thinking, well, man, they must not have been on the field very much. And you're right. They weren't on the field very much because they were striking. The touchdowns were scored in not a lot of time for Kansas State. Kansas State.
2nd down and 2 from the 37. Hubert again. And he's got the 1st down. Tripped up across the 35. Sendish there with the tackle. His 2nd of the half.
And again, nice job by Hubert. He's just being patient. You know, in a lot of these zone running plays, there's not a definitive area where you're running the ball. There's not a designated hole. So what you're doing as a running back is you're basically running to a certain target, and you're just allowing those holes to organically appear by the good blocking of your offensive line. But as a running back, you just have to be patient, and you have to let them develop, and that's what Hubert's doing. He's letting these gaps and these seams in the defenses develop.
And look who's here. Daniel Sams out there, Tom.
Yep, Sams, the sophomore from Slidell, Louisiana. He and Waters have become great friends over the last couple years. And he'll run it more than he'll throw it. They have lost a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 11. Ben Heaney came up to make the tackle. Bill Snyder hasn't had a whole lot of success over the years with 2 quarterbacks, but these guys have given him some success here this year.
Well, they're roommates. You mentioned they're good friends, and you just got to think anytime you talk with Bill Snyder or his guys, that if there's any program in America that can handle 2 guys going in there at that star position, it's at Kansas State there in Manhattan. They have done a fantastic job with it, and they've been better. You look at the OU game, and we didn't see much of Sam. They've been better when they have gone with the 2-man show.
And I think he only played 6 reps in that game against Oklahoma. He'll throw on 2nd down and 11. Look at the time. And now he'll bounce his way around, improvising a little bit. He'll tuck it, and he'll be dropped at the 38-yard line. Heaney just stayed with them the entire time to make that tackle.
Yeah, you're going to see the defense of Kansas did a nice job. What they did is they basically said, look, we're not going to let you throw it to Lockett. They got him bracketed, double covered. Sams had nowhere to go, and that's initially who Sams wanted to go to was Lockett. You see him there. And then now you see the pass rush as you look at Sams now looking for his guy Lockett. Can't find him. He's double covered. Now he's just going to try to improvise. And James, we saw Sams do one of those kind of backyard plays over in Manhattan, Kansas. That's sort of what he's known for, is to be one of those improvisers.
Over and over against Oklahoma State.
They're down at 17 from the 39. 3 receivers to the near side. Waters is the quarterback. He's hit as he throws, and Thompson tries to make the acrobatic catch, but it's broken up by Dexter Linton.
And I was calling for it on the sudden change, and sudden change obviously when there's a turnover, but Kansas responded, coming out, getting a huge stop there. And it was a nice defensive call there, putting some pressure on the quarterback. And it is perfect position there by Dexter Linton there. He's just running the route there for Thompson. And all he's got to do really is just be a little bit more alert, and he can pick that thing off.
Connor Embry back deep to receive for Kansas, as Mark Krause is on the punt for the 2nd time today. Not too much pressure. He gets this one off, and he's going to boot it into the wind, and it goes into the end zone. So a touchback. KU will have it at the 25 when we return, looking for a little offense, down by 21 to Bill Snyder's Wildcats. Charlie Weiss feels in the next year or so his team will compete for a Big 12 championship. He knows that it's sort of a rebuilding time. He's got a lot of juniors who will be back for their senior year next year, but he was hoping that today would be a springboard into 2014. Right now, though, his team is down 21-0. Heaps has run the quarterback position the last couple series, and the ball was deflected by Mueller, who has been all over the field in this first half.
And that's just Ryan Mueller again being the fundamentalist. And all I mean by that is just perfect technique there by Ryan Mueller, because what happens is the reactions when you get cut, you immediately have to raise your hands. And you're going to see it's been defense for Kansas State all over the field.
Yeah, not just Mueller, the entire defense, a disciplined defense, a hard-nosed defense.
Mueller with 5 tackles, guys, 2 for a loss, as the first down is completed to Terzilli outside the 30-yard line.
And that's what Kansas needed, guys. They needed to get some breathing room, get a little confidence, get a little rhythm. And oh, by the way, guys, I don't want to discount this, but that was one heck of a throw by Jake Heaps. Very, very accurate throw. That's why he was the #1 quarterback coming out of college. He was highly recruited, and that's why Charlie Weiss is excited about this guy. He just wants to see some more out of him.
On first down for the 31. And another run play for the Jayhawks. It was Sims over the block of his left guard.
Brady, you're right, and it's not like Heaps was getting beat out by Montel Cozart in practice every single day. He's just lighting it up in practice. Jake Heaps isn't the athlete that Montel Cozart is. You mentioned it earlier. So he can't buy himself some time with his legs. He doesn't have the athleticism to make up for the deficiencies all over the offense. So you had to go there. What can Heaps do when he has a great offensive line in front of him? That's the big question.
Here's the 14th run of the day for Sims, who's up over 50 yards with that one, a gain of 7. Jonathan Truman makes the tackle.
But James Sims, every time he touches the football, he is letting a Kansas State Wildcat defender know it.
Rudy Johnson, is that who Charlie Weiss compared him to, the former Cincinnati Bengal?
And I think he's right. He runs hard. He doesn't have this blow you off the charts kind of speed, but the guy runs with a purpose. And every time you see him fall to the ground, guys, he's falling forward, and that's a sign of a good back.
Bourbon's in, Sims is out. Heaps to throw on 3rd down. Terzillo can't come up with it. That's his 2nd drop of the day, and it'll be 4th down. Kip Daly in on the coverage.
I'll bet you Jayhawk fans are so tired of seeing these drop balls. It's one thing when you don't have any protection, you know, and Jake Heaps has been under pressure. Cozart has been under pressure throughout the year, but time and time again, they have dropped footballs across the board. And it isn't just right now in this game, but it has been from the beginning of the year. And you just can't win football games, especially against good football teams like Kansas State, if you're hurting yourself like that.
Cardula has not had a good day punting the football, but this is a beauty. Over the head of Thompson, and it takes a Kansas bounce. Ooh. Thompson fields it, and he is nailed. What a hit. Jake Love with a special teams tackle.
Wow. See, Cardula, MVP. MVP. I told you that punter could turn it around. How about my man Love getting down there, big blow, the tempo on the side of the cat.
Pretty good size hole for Kansas. They're down 21-0. Cardula, though, with a 58-yard punt, and he pins K-State back inside the 5. It's a daunting task for Jake Waters, the quarterback. Gronkowski in motion. He'll set up in the backfield. And on first down, they hand up to Hubert. Hubert ran into his own man, so he'll get maybe one on the play.
And a nice job there by Michael Reynolds for the defensive end there. You see him doing a nice job of what they call engaging with that tight end, shocking and shedding, basically saying disengaging with the blocker and then being able to make the play. He did not only his own job, which is to turn the ball back in, but then he made the play. Very nice job on the edge there.
So they try to get Michael Reynolds in on all passing downs, as many as possible. 4 receivers in for K-State, so it looks like a passing down here. It's 2nd down and 9. Waters looks over to the far side of the field. Quick toss to the near side for Thompson. And Thompson dances his way across the 10 to the 11. He was sandwiched down by Dexter McDonald.
Well, Linton has done a great job. Dexter McDonald, that's one thing. Deion Sanders is one of the best ever to play that position, cover guy. He wasn't very physical. Dave Campo coached him. Dave Campo coaches these corners and has done a phenomenal job. Dexter McDonald got rid of his blocker, came out of it, and he and Linton did a great job to bottle him up. Now, they have to get off the field right here and get back into this game. This is a huge play for Kansas on D.
3rd down and 3. They'll run the option. Waters thought about keeping it, pitches it to Hubert, who has the first down. Out to the 19. It's a gain of 8.
I'll tell you what, the big block there was Thompson. Thompson went downfield and blocked the secondary guys for Kansas, and that's huge. He actually took 2 guys out, and you're going to see it here late in the play. Up in this area, Thompson's going to come in there and take 1-2 guys out of Kansas to clear the way for Hubert, because the reality is, guys, in that triple option, the guy who has to get to wow, look at those guys. His body's flowing out. The guy who has to get to the pitch is the safety for the secondary. And if you got him blocked, there's nobody else for the pitch.
Give some credit to Trujillo, who's there to make the block as well. On 1st down, the handoff goes to Hubert, trying to get outside. He does get outside. Oh, what a nice little dance to get the first down up to the 29.
Oh, and that time to lead the way was Cody Whitehair, even on that replay, going back to that 1st down run. Watch Big 55 hop around here. He's just a sophomore from Abilene, Kansas. Does just enough to clip Heaney, get him off his angle. And again, sticking that foot in the ground. John Hubert is a tough back. Boy, is he physical. 2 very physical backs and fun to watch. Hard runners in this game.
Well, he's a yard shy of the first down, so his knee was down at the 28. He's on the doorstep of 100 yards already in this first half. Off the play fake, Waters to throw. Has time? Nope, not anymore. Thrown down at the 21 by Michael Reynolds, the leading sacker for the Jayhawks.
And that's exactly what you want. That's one of those slow developing plays there, a play action pass. You got Lockett there coming deep, but you see coming over on the other end here, our guy Reynolds, top sack artist for the Kansas Jayhawk defense. A huge play. This is a huge 3rd down for this Kansas defense. They got to get off the field, guys.
Junior out of Wichita, Kansas. It's 3rd down and 7. Just inside the 22. Play clock down to 5. Waters looks over to the sidelines. Play clock at 2. I don't think he's going to have time to get it off. And he just gets the snap, but the flags come flying.
Delay of game by number 15 of the offense. The 5-yard penalty, and it's still 3rd down.
2nd delay of game for K-State.
You know, it's interesting. You see all these teams that just go at such a high rate of speed with these offensive plays. Boom, 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 boom. That time, Dexter McDonald was on the wrong side of the field. They had a guy uncovered, but they had time to yell at him from the bench and get over there because, you know, this is just a traditional offense, taking their time to snap the football. Now it's 3rd and a long.
As we head toward the 6-minute mark here in the first half, and the pass incomplete, intended for Trujillo. Victor Simmons in on the coverage.
Yeah, Victor Simmons did a nice job there, just staying on the hip of Trujillo. You know, because that's what this is all about. When you're a man-to-man situation, obviously you're just looking at your man and you're looking to run his route for him. And you see him right there at the end of that play. Trujillo was in the hip pocket. I'm sorry, Simmons was in the hip pocket of Trujillo.
Well, here's the wind holding up this punt, but Embry calls for the fair catch at the 49. He fumbles it, and he falls down on top of it, I believe. And it is Kansas football. Embry did fall back on top of it. Good field position for Kansas off a 34-yard punt. Little pushing going on after this play.
Man, that was a little adventurous there.
Well, a little pushing
routine
going on
buckets
after
are-
that play, and it's time for a game break. Patrick O'Neill, a little pushing going on in Michigan.
Indeed, at the big house for the big rivalry game and big-time emotions, with the Buckeyes trailing the Wolverines by 7. Special teams starts to lack some discipline. A melee breaks out. 3 players would get ejected. 1 Wolverine, 2 Buckeyes. You see the punches thrown, including starting Buckeye offensive lineman Marcus Hall. That's a key loss for Ohio State. Tom?
All right, Patrick, on first down, Christian Matthews with the reception on the far side of the field. Beautifully thrown pass by Heaps.
Yeah, and Charlie Weiss is thinking when their offense gets around the 50-yard line, that's what he calls the take-a-shot zone. And basically what that means is he's going to call it in the huddle. Hey, we're going to go vertical. We're going to take a shot because they feel like they have solid enough field position to where they're not at a disadvantageous position, talking about field position. That's what you saw there. That's just a called play from the sideline from Charlie Weiss and his philosophy of taking a shot downfield.
Biggest play of the day, 21 yards. Heaps to throw again. Has time. Lofts it toward the end zone, and he overthrows his intended receiver, Justin McKay.
And I like that about Jake Heaps, because the one complaint I've always had about Jake Heaps is that sometimes he plays a little bit too conservatively. And I like that. You know what? You're on your own, or on the opposing team's 30. Take a shot at the end zone. Worst case scenario, you're in 2nd 10. You got your guy James Sims behind you. You can hand the ball off to him, get yourself in at least a reasonable 3rd down situation. So I like Jake Heaps taking a shot there to the end zone.
All right, now it's 2nd down and 10 from the 30. Out of the shotgun is Heaps. Looking to throw, has time, throws to the outside, passes complete to the outside for another 1st down. That's Josh Ford with his first reception.
Yeah, Josh Ford must have been watching our guy Tyler Lockett on the other side run the comeback. You're going to see Josh Ford here. He's going to be pressing vertically, trying to sell the vertical route, and boom, put his feet in the ground for the nice comeback route. And then you see the timing of the throw. The ball was put perfectly outside where the defender couldn't get it, and it was put perfectly on time as soon as Josh Ford turned around.
Dorian Roberts made the tackle. First time for KU in the red zone as we get close to the 5-minute mark here in the first half. Heaps setting up the screen for Sims, and Sims tripped up across the 15 by Dorian Roberts. A gain of 4 on the play.
A very well-designed play there. You got Jake Heaps trying to manipulate the defense. He looks one way as James Sims sort of sneaks out the other way, and it looks back the other way for a little screen pass there for 5 yards. And that's a solid play down here in the red zone for this Kansas offense.
Handoff goes to Sims on 2nd down, and Sims dances his way down to the 11. Slaughter comes up to make the tackle. So he's 2 yards away from a 1st down.
No, Blake Slaughter, he has been literally a tackling machine today, guys. He's already got 8 tackles. We still got 4 minutes, 24 seconds to go and counting in the first half there. Blake Slaughter, that is the epitome of the tackling machine as you see it right now.
That's what Bobby Boucher calls tackling fuel.
Here's Sims on 3rd down and 2, and he didn't get too far. Stood up, no gain on the play.
And you got to go for it, Tom. There's no field goals aren't going to help you out in this situation. This is a situation where a 4th down, you got to get that 1st down, and you see right here, just a nice, again, Slaughter. He's in the mix. He's the one getting low. The pullers can't see him.
First time out of the half.
So Kansas will burn a timeout with 3:56 to play here in the first half. First time in the red zone for the Jayhawks. Can they score? We'll find out. Kansas has already converted their 1 4th down opportunity today. Can they do it again? It's 4th and 2 from the 11. They're down 21-0 with 3:56 to play here in the first half. Pistol formation. Sims is behind Heaps. He'll throw. Pass is complete. Mundine for a touchdown. An 11-yard pass.
And guys, I'm going to be honest. That's essentially the same type of play that Kansas State's offense has been beating Kansas's defense with. It's just a play-action fake, and you're just trying to get those linebackers to suck up, and then lo and behold, you're tied in. You're going to see it right here. Right there, the tight end. He's just going to free release up the field. Everybody's biting on the run, and Mundane finds himself in the paint, putting his Kansas Jayhawk team on the scoreboard.
Doherty on for the point after. High snap is handled, and it's 21-7 with 3:53 to play here in the first half. Mundine dropped a touchdown pass last week against Iowa State. Charlie Weiss talked about that yesterday in our conference call. So it's nice to see him reel one in here.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, this is how you redeem yourself, isn't it? With your teammates, with your coaches, from dropping a passes. You go and catch a touchdown pass.
And we saw on 3rd and short, the play before, everybody sold out. When you've got James Sims back there, and he can get the ball and just churn out 3-4 yards, seems like every single pop, you know, only back-to-back 1,000-yard rusher here in Kansas history. Everybody knows that he can hurt you on those short yardage situations, so you've got to respect it. Boom, you sell that play action fake hard, and then you've got a guy like Mundine. It wasn't just last week. Even against Rice, you go back, he's had a couple drops this year. That was a huge catch, and they needed that. Now they need to come right back out and play some defense and not give up another one of those big plays. K-State, 4 plays over 20 yards here today. 3 of them have gone for touchdowns.
And if I'm Kansas, guys, and I'm not joking, onside kick this. Steal a possession.
You're joking.
No way. Steal a possession. This is the time to do it right now.
Well, Lockett is back deep to receive along with Thompson. They're going to try to kick it away from Lockett. We know that. Pardula with a kickoff. Not so much for kicking it away from Lockett. He'll take it a yard deep, and he's going to return it inside the numbers on the far side. And he gets up to the 16-yard line. No flags. Time now for a Pizza Hut halftime promo with Rob Stone in our studios.
Coming up on the Pizza Hut halftime show, Jameis Winston taking some early hits as number 2 FSU looks to remain unbeaten. The Big House eyeing a big upset of number 3 Ohio State. And Duke looks to book its spot in the ACC championship game. It's all coming up at the break.
Force the penalty and re-kick.
All right, Rob, thank you very much. There was a late flag that was thrown on the far side of the field, so it's a penalty against K-State. And it looks like Kansas will kick it off again. So Pardula will bring it all back.
Yeah, I had a special teams coach by the name of Mr. Stock who said the only swear word in his vocabulary was re-kick. And I guess that's what's happening here to Kansas, because only bad things happen on those re-kicks.
So it's Kansas who was offside, so they'll kick it off again. And Lockett should get even more room to return it. How about the week he had last week against Oklahoma? Wow. Catching passes, returning punts, returning kickoffs.
And Tom, you said it. Why are they kicking to the guy?
Yeah.
I mean, get it away from him.
Playing with fire. I mean, they do a great job of going down and stopping him at the 16-yard line. What was it, 440 total yards?
Yeah.
Woo. Last week against Oklahoma. The second most in Big 12 history by that guy right there. And that used to be what he specialized in, was returning the kicks. Now he does it all for the Wildcats.
And I'm sure he had to go sit in a cold tub after that game.
Well, here you go, a little pooch. So they're going to kick it away from him. And K-State will get excellent field position. And the return by Nemechek, and the ball is loose. Kansas has picked it up. So Zach Nemechek returned it, got it across the 40. It was jarred loose, and the Jayhawks have a little momentum.
And this may sound crazy, but guess what? That little squiv kick right there, that's sort of the intent of it, is just to put it in the hands, the ball in the hands of somebody who's not really used to returning the ball. And at the very least, maybe you get a guy who mishandles the ball, doesn't put it away like you see here. You're going to see the ball get dislodged right there on impact.
Looked like Terzilli was the one that knocked it away as it was loose coming down. Yeah.
Simmons looked like the guy who got it there. But that's what you're hoping for on that, is maybe just somebody that's not used to returning those kicks.
A fumble by the receiving team, recovered by the kicking team.
Recovered by Josh Ford.
And I'll tell you guys, that's huge for Kansas. This could be something that really turns the whole game around and talk in terms of momentum.
Speaking of Josh Ford, how about yesterday, James, the way Charlie Weiss talked about his seniors and what they did after practice?
Well, as we told you off the top, we promised, Charlie Weiss promised a different team, and he was coming right off of the practice field. They had their walkthrough here yesterday, and they like to do it at the same time as game time, so it was an early walkthrough. We talked to him on the phone. He said, you know, if you would have heard our seniors address the team, it really would have blown you away. You know, and it's the same way at K-State. These seniors, this is such a special rivalry, the chance to go out and buckle up the chin strap and play college football is such an honor. But that guy right there who comes away with it, number 8, when we asked Coach Weiss, was there any senior his speech that stood out? He said Josh Ford. He said Josh Ford, he's a backup receiver, great special teams player for us. And he got up and he told the team, he said, guys, I went into the locker room after practice yesterday and I cried. I cried because this will probably be the last time I ever practiced football. Don't ever take anything for granted. And that, you know, just if you really think about that, that's just to know that you've put so much of your life into it, and then it's over all of a sudden.
And that
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
So Ford does get the fumble recovery. It was Simmons, Brady, as you pointed out, that did strip it out.
What I was going to say, it's a bit piggyback a little off of what James is saying. It's always a sight to see on these last games of the year, like you see here, where these seniors that they know they're not going to go professional. This is the last time they ever put their pads on. They'll sit in that locker room for hours on end with those pads on, knowing that it'll be the last time they'll take them off.
Well, first down from the 42 off the play fake. Heaps looking to throw. He's looking for it all to the near side, and it's incomplete. He overthrew McKay, who did have a step or two on Kip Daly.
Yeah, it looked like the ball just sailed a little bit too far out of bounds there for Jake Heaps. You're going to see it right here. It's a nice job there, and it looks, you know, the wind is something that is going to be a factor, and obviously on that play it was a factor with the ball getting pushed out of bounds there, but it was a nice job there to create space on the sideline and to give yourself a chance.
Football-wise, though, guys, you like that? Going for the home run right there?
Yeah, again,
After the sudden change.
It's at the middle of the field there. That's Charlie Weiss's take-a-shot zone.
Well, off the play fake again. The pass is complete to McKay this time, and McKay has the first down with an extra effort out of bounds at the 28.
McKay, that's just one of those complimentary plays. You know, he went vertical the play before, and on this one he said, hey, I'm going to fake like I'm going to go vertical and run a comeback, which he does right here. But the thing that was most impressive, watch McKay right here. He's not going down. He talked about his boy Ford giving their team a little bit of a speech there. These guys are playing inspired. Talk about Kansas.
First down, Sims, nothing doing. Wrapped up by Randall Evans coming from his right cornerback position. A loss of 1. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Oh, yeah, Kansas State was feeling like, hey, we need to get a stop. We got to turn this momentum back into our favor. How are we going to do that? We're going to dial up a little bit of a corner blitz. And obviously, Kansas least expected that a corner blitz was going to be coming at him. And a nice job there by Evans getting a tackle for loss.
Another 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Heaps to throw, dances a little bit, passes complete to Mundine in some traffic at the 23.
Wow. And that's a big-time throw there, guys. The accuracy to be able to throw it through that tiny little window. Look at this. You're going to see, look at the arms up there, and then right here, right into Mundine's bread basket, right before Slaughter can get his hand up. That's just a beautiful throw. And again, that's what Jake Heaps brings. That's what makes Jake Heaps so good. And that's why we're seeing Jake Heaps now. He has sparked this Kansas run ever since he got in the game.
Slaughter, you
Kansas
can't.
State calls their second timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Can hardly cover a guy any better, can you?
Oh.
He was draped over.
9 tackles for Slaughter. This week on Fox College Saturday, the 25th ranked Fighting Irish of Notre Dame take on 8th.
Physical, and they are tough, and they're both going to implement that physical power running / power football style of play tonight.
Notre Dame is thin inside on the defensive line, and that's the bread and butter right there for Stanford. It's just powering that football up the middle. They also left a couple guys back home, so short-handed, but they'll find a way to make that one heck of a game.
3rd down. You see what Kansas has done today. 2 for 8.
Kansas calls their second timeout of the half.
Back and forth we go.
Timeout. 30 seconds.
K-State calls a timeout. Now Kansas calls a timeout. What do you expected from Kansas right here, guys? I mean, Bill Snyder obviously called the timeout a moment ago to get his personnel set. Now Charlie Weiss looked at what K-State had to offer, and he's just decided to do something a little different.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Charlie Weiss being the ultimate kind of strategist, you're exactly right. It's like in basketball where you get the guy who's defending the guy out of bounds who'll go up and take a delay game just to see what kind of play is going on. That's what Charlie Weiss is doing. He's saying, what kind of defense are they going to run? Oh, okay, they're going to give us this. We're going to now run something that will hopefully attack what they're going to do if they continue to run that same defense, talking about Kansas State.
Obviously plenty of time here. Kansas and Kansas State each with 1 timeout. I don't know. James Sims, pretty good go-to guy in a short yardage situation.
3rd down and 4. They fake it to Sims. Heaps pumps once left, throws left, has McKay trying to get to the first down marker, and he does. Gain of about 6 on the play. Walker comes up to make the tackle. That was a safe play right there by Kansas.
It was an interesting play because there was 2 wide receivers out there. They did the play action, and basically it looked like Heaps had the option where he could either throw the vertical route or throw it out to McKay in the flat. And so Heaps pumps like he's going to go vertical. The corners bite, and then the guy in the flats, McKay, was, wide open and obviously unabated for the first down.
It's Ford, Matthews, and Coleman off to the outside. The handoff goes to Sims inside across the 15. Gain of 3 on the play. Ryan Mueller with his 3rd tackle of the day. Mundine checks back into the ballgame here. He has the 1 touchdown reception for KU. And he's lined up on the right side of the offensive line. It's 2nd down and 7. Heaps to throw again, looking toward the right side, and it's nearly intercepted by Dorian Roberts.
Roberts comes up hobbling a little bit, but he does a great job to come underneath. He wanted that rock. Here he is, of course, up top. And breaking it off and coming down underneath and shoot in position. A good job to go back over by Ford to knock it away. Otherwise, it's a lot of momentum that's killed in a hurry for Kansas. Now a 3rd down and 7 but you've got your corner out.
3rd down and 7 from inside the 15. Heaps to throw again. Tosses it to the far side. And another drop pass. This one by Mundine. Guys, that's got to stop if Kansas is going to be successful today.
Oh, yeah, that's just a killer. Especially when you're talking about rhythm, confidence. I don't care. I mean, you could throw a perfect pass just like Jake Heaps did there. When it's dropped, it's not the same feeling from the quarterback's perspective as if it was completed.
Reminder coming up, the Pizza Hut halftime report. Doherty on for the 31-yard field goal attempt. Here's a guy that was the punter, the kicker last year, the place kicker last year, found himself off the depth chart at the start of this season, but over the last 4 games has been back in with those duties. From the near hash mark, good snap, good hold. It hits the upright, and it is good. A little Jayhawk luck with 1:06 to play here in the first half.
Yeah, I think I saw him walking out there saying, guys, off the upright, just to let you know.
So if he calls it, it's easier, right?
I wonder how many times you think if he kicked it 10 times, would he be able to kick it off the uprights like that and get it in between the goalposts there? Holy smokes. Look at that. It's like off the glass. Blink. But if you're Charlie Weiss, you're content with this. You're content right now as long as your defense can hold here in the last minute 6 in the first half of going into the locker room down 11, especially when you consider the fact that they started out this game really slow, going into here late in the second quarter down 21-0. They scratched, fought their way back into the game. And so I think you're feeling pretty encouraged if you're Charlie Weiss going into the locker room if your defense can hold here.
Tonight on Fox Sports 1, it's the most explosive Ultimate Fighter finale yet. Gray Maynard takes on Nate Diaz, and this season's finalists take one last step in the chase for their dream. The Ultimate Fighter finale live from Las Vegas tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1.
Well, they got that 3 points courtesy of the sky kick and the strip ball. They kept it away from 16. Don't kick it to him here. Oh, no, here we go, Lockett.
Fortunately, though, it's 8 yards deep, so Lockett's going to take a knee.
Oh, playing with fire, I'm telling you guys. Just like his dad and uncle who played for Bill Snyder back there at KSU.
21-10 the score, 1:06 to play here in the first half. Let's go for a game break to the studio. Guys?
All right, thanks. Hey, let's go to the Swamp. Number 2, Florida State. Jameis Winston to continue their perfect season at Florida. All about the Benjamin so far. Jameis Winston hits Kelvin Benjamin for the 2nd score of the first half. 17-0 there at the half. Let's go back to Tom.
All right, guys, as we begin here on first down from the 25, Hubert tackled by Linton after a gain of about 4 on the play. It's 2nd down and 6. Hubert's over 100 yards in this first half running the football.
Yeah, he's run well. He's ran hard. And obviously his offensive line has done a nice job opening up holes from it. It looks like here that Bill Snyder, unless his offense can rip off a really big explosive running play, is just going to be content going at halftime up 21-10.
But careful, there's Lockett down here at the bottom of your screen. Watch a big play action pass. Why not try to hit him up top one time?
Well, the handoff goes to Hubert. And Hubert goes north to the 34. He's going to be about a yard shy of a first down. Love and Linton in on the tackle. Gain of 5 on the play.
You feel me, Brady? You lull them to sleep, you know, thinking the same thing. McDonald out there, who's a good corner, you know, just going to kind of coast out this first half. And if it's not there, go ahead and take a knee and take it to the locker room. But There's a lot of fight left in both of these teams. This is one great second half that we'll have when we come back after halftime, after the 16 seconds.
Well, that's Jake Love, who they're tending to for Kansas. He was in on the last tackle for the Jayhawks. 16 seconds left to play here in the first half.
There he is right there. He actually got, it looked like he got that head out there and just kind of.
Because of the injury to the defensive team, please run 10 seconds off the clock.
You know,
Set the
let's
clock at 6 seconds.
just hope it's a stinger, which it certainly could be the way his head was positioned there.
I'm confused by that one. Because if you're a defense trying to get off the field, I'd fake an injury like some people have been known to do, so you get the 10 seconds ran off. I don't know about that.
They get the option. Offensively, you have the option if you want it or not.
Is that what it is? Okay. Because that didn't make sense to me.
Well, that'll be the final play of the first half. 21-10 the score. Kansas State on top. We're at halftime. Let's go to Rob Stone in Los Angeles for the Pizza Hut halftime report.
Special teams there at the end, so we've got a football game now after that convenient carry.
Well, Kansas State will get it when we return. Obviously, Lockett is taking a knee, and he will have the ball at the 25, up 21-10. Let's take a look at the first half statistics brought to you by K Jewelers. And if you could break it down from first quarter to second quarter, Kansas State owned the first quarter, and overall 182 total yards. Time of possession, though, goes to Kansas, and a lot of that was because of what they did in the second quarter. Well, here's Waters running the offense from the 25 out of the shotgun. Again, Hubert in the backfield. He's been the go-to guy for Kansas State. Quick toss to the near side. It's Thompson. And Thompson is going to be wrapped up at the 29 and knocked out of bounds after a gain of 4 on the play. Second and 6 at the 29. Second down at 6. Waters with the handoff to Hubert, who goes right up the middle, and Hubert's going to have a first down. So Hubert with 2 run plays to begin the second half. It's going to be about a half-yard shy. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. Sorry. Tom, then right back to work goes Hubert.
And Waters with the quarterback keeper, and he's going to have that first down up to the 37. How important is it for, let's say, K-State to chew up some time and use the run game to their advantage to begin the second half, guys? Is that a big deal at all?
Oh, yeah. I mean, because that's who they are as an identity, as an offense. They're kind of methodical drive kind of team in terms of just going down the field play by play, and they use the high percentage plays like you saw there. Thompson, the first play, that flare pass, the running game, and the quarterback sneak here. So this is just a reflection of the identity of Kansas State's offense.
Man in motion, and the handoff goes to Hubert. He was hit in the backfield, but he spins away a couple of different times for a gain of 9. Dexter McDonald makes the tackle. Isaiah Johnson was there to help.
Man, you're going to see Hubert here coming up in the hole. He's going to be twisting and turning and fighting his way, and this is what he does well, guys. He runs hard after contact, and I'd be very curious to know how much yards he's accumulated after contact today, because that's what he does well. He does not go down with the initial contact.
In the 41-31 loss to OU last weekend, it's hard to believe, just 24 net yards rushing for this Wildcat bunch.
Yeah, they went to the pass more than anything else in that game to try to keep up with Oklahoma. But here it's been Hubert who's gotten a lion's share of the offensive reps. First quarter, now here in the third quarter.
You almost get the sense that Kansas State went into that locker room, got a sip, got an orange slice or whatever it is they served there to those guys from Manhattan, and the coaches came over and met with them and basically laid down the law like this. Look, we're going to go out and we're going to punch them right in the nose and remind them this is what we're going to do, and this is who we are, like Brady said, all day long, because there was a time when it looked like they were going to do just that and run away with this football game. Let's go back out there and remind them that we've got the upper hand right now and just chew it up.
Well, they have a solid offensive line. There's no doubt about that. But here's Thompson with his second catch of this half. And he's out of bounds to the 32, a gain of 17. So not a lot of Lockett today, but some Thompson, and that's partly because of the coverage from Kansas, I would assume.
Yeah, and it was a nice job by Waters there. Kansas brought a blitz off the edge, and what you do as a quarterback, you go right to where that blitz just came from, because that's the vacated area in the defense. That's what Waters did there, to a nice completion to Thompson there for a big game.
All right, now Lockett's one-on-one on the outside with Ja'Cory Shepherd, and there's a quick toss to Thompson, and Waters let him just a little too much on that one.
And that's the idea. I mean, on that one is you really, as the quarterback, you want to put it out there about a step in front of the wide receiver to give himself some momentum as he goes into that kind of flare out kind of situation, because basically the flare out again is just an extended pitch play for this offense. It's just another running play in their playbook. When they go and they have it all categorized, it literally is under the running play category, because it's a ball controlling style play.
Now here Kansas, you get a little bit of help. You got to come up with a big play on second, put them in 3rd and long.
Well, here's Waters running again. That could be a lateral. That ball looked like it was behind Jake Waters, but they're going to call it incomplete, intended for Curry Sexton. Guys, that was awfully close.
Yeah, that was one of those, again, those quarterback play actions. You're going to see here Waters fake like the quarterback draw and then throw it out there, and then look at Waters there. He's going to take a shot there from Heaney, and that was a forward pass to Sexton, but it's just, again, another variation of that quarterback running play / play action pass game of Kansas State.
That was a great camera shot right there to show that it was indeed a forward pass. Play clock down to 10. It's like Waters is changing the play at the line of scrimmage. He'll throw on 3rd down and 10. He's under pressure, and he's taken down at the 43-yard line. Victor Simmons.
Yeah, there's a reason why there, Tom, that he was looking to change the play, and that's because Kansas was showing that, hey, we're going to bring the pressure. Waters, you better get the ball out of your hands quick. You're going to see all the guys coming here. There's at least 6, 7, 8 guys coming there for Kansas defense, and Waters just realizes, hey, we don't have enough guys to hold up here. And Victor Simmons comes in for a huge sack to get his offense the ball back and continue that momentum that Kansas started to ride there in the first half, guys.
Kansas now with 7 tackles for loss in this game. Kraus is on the punt for the first time in this half. Embry is back at his 10. Low snap. And it's going to be a short kick, and Embry's going to come running up, and he'll field it at the 20 with a fair catch. 11:05 to play here in the 3rd quarter. 21-10 K-State. They're done on offense. Now it's time for the Jayhawks when we return.
As KU tries to get back on top in this rivalry, they've lost 4 in a row to Kansas State, and the gentleman right in the middle right there, he's working hard right now, the defensive coordinator, Flip Bowen. There he is. He knows all about this rivalry. Led KU in tackles with 114 in 1993, 2-2 in the Sunflower Showdown against K-State. And he drew up the big blitz there to get his defense off the field and the ball back in the hands of the Jayhawks, guys.
All right, guys, I don't know if this is a big deal or not, but they're moving from right to left, and 24 of the 31 points so far today have basically been in this direction. We talked about the wind. The flags aren't moving a whole lot, but it's also, they also rely on James Sims to get some positive yards.
Yeah, I said the wind doesn't affect this guy.
No.
Nor does it affect the running game. You saw that right there. Nice, tough run by James Sims to set up a kill down essentially. Take a shot here.
On 2nd down and 1, they give it to Sims again. He has the first down. Muir wraps him up, but he's up to the 31.
Moving the chains. Again, another tough run by James Sims. What I was trying to say beforehand, when you're in a 2nd and 1, there is a great opportunity to take a shot downfield, because worst case scenario, incompletion, you got yourself a 3rd and 1.
I think part of it too is that Tony Pearson's not in this game, is out for the year, that they don't have that sort of go-to guy as a receiver.
Oh yeah, he was their explosive playmaker.
Well, here's Heaps trying to throw, has Mundine, and Mundine dances across the 40 and gets about 9 on the play. Trey Walker makes his 3rd tackle.
Mundine has done a nice job today. I know he had that one drop there down in the red zone, but he's been a favorite target of Jake Heaps today, and you're going to see Mundine being what they are as tight ends, are safety blankets. Whenever you're under pressure as a quarterback, you can always rely that your tight end can be a guy that you can throw it to, because a lot of times these tight ends are so long, they got such big catch radiuses that you can just sort of throw it in their vicinity and they'll make a play for you.
Here's Sims on second down and a little less than 2, and he's got the first down, but he fumbled the ball. It looks like it's wrapped up by K-State. Another turnover. And it's Schellenberg who comes up with the loose ball.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by Kansas State.
The second time today, the senior back loses the football. Of course, they'll look at it, and of course, it's going to stay with the Wildcats, churning to get a couple extra yards, but all for naught. Ball back in the hands of K-State. Big Alana Finau in the middle of two great defensive players, Mueller and Moore. And watch Big 94 right here.
Look at him stick his arm there, his left arm in there. Now he's raking at that ball as he's trying to tackle James Sims down to the ground, and the ball comes out. That's just what they call a nice little ball security drill there for Alana Finau that he implemented in the game and got the ball back for his offense.
All right, so now 3 turnovers forced by K-State guys. And, you know, we talked to Bill Snyder a couple of days ago, and he was pretty basic with what he said his team needed to do to be successful. Don't get penalized. Don't turn the ball over, but force some turnovers, and they have today.
They certainly have, and that's, you know, unfortunately for Kansas, it's been Sims, your workhorse, just trying to do just that. Churn out a couple extra, and there he is, a well-deserved rest for the big senior. You know, DJ Quick, the old rapper from LA, used to sing a song just like Compton. He's from Compton, California. I don't think Manhattan is just like Compton. They're a little bit different.
2 different worlds.
Second down at 7. Gronkowski is the fullback. Waters to throw. Pass complete to Lockett. And Lockett does a great dance step to get across the 30. Gain of 15. McDonald and Heaney in on the tackle.
Yeah, you're going to see the cushion here. Look at that. That's how much respect is given to Tyler Lockett. And you're going to see the cushion still persist throughout the down, and it's just an easy pitch and catch to Tyler Lockett. And then he's just looking to make a play after that down. But you see the respect that these defensive backs are giving him because of his explosive playmaking ability.
I think it says a lot for Bill Snyder. And here comes some flags. I think there was movement on the left side of the offensive line for K-State. I think it says a lot.
A false start by number 48 of the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still first down.
Gronkowski moved.
There's Gronkowski right there. You see the little move, and that's going to cost him 5. And that is something that, just like you said, Tom, you talked with Bill Snyder, that's how they won a Big 12 last year. Penalties, turnovers. They were so good at playing clean football last year. Now you've got a 1st and 15. Now they're in the same field position when they came down through a couple incomplete passes.
So the handoff goes to Hubert on 1st down and 15. He's wrapped up at the 30. A gain of 3. Heaney in on the tackle. It's time now for a Lowe's Never Stop Improving game break. Here's Patrick O'Neill. Patrick?
Thank you. Whenever Duke plays North Carolina, huge implications in basketball. But no, Dukies have won 7 straight with the win. They'll play FSU in the ACC title game. Anthony Boone to Jamison Crowder. His second touchdown, 24-15 in the 3rd quarter. Tom, James Brady back to you.
And it's still first down.
Well, Zach Trujillo is called for the personal foul penalty, Patrick, and that's going to move the ball back even farther. So what Bill Snyder said was pretty prophetic the other day about penalties and turnovers.
He just said, that's what we cannot do here. We cannot hurt ourselves. We need to play, you know, a crisp game of football every time out. And for the most part, that's what you get. There's the penalty. You see Trujillo going low there.
It was Isaiah Johnson who was on the reception of that penalty. 1st and 27. 8 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Both offenses quiet so far in this 3rd quarter. Play clock down to 5. Waters to throw. Slings it near side. Passes complete. Flags come flying. It's Sexton who's down to the 31. And the flags are sitting at the 40, at the 34. And we'll hear again from Cooper Castleberry, our referee for today's ball game.
Pass interference by number 33 of the offense. The 15-yard penalty and replay first down.
Boys, K-State's going the wrong way here.
Wow. I mean, I mean, even if you go 3 and out or whatever, when they went down into the original field position, they're in field goal range. Now they're on the opposite side of the field. They're not even on their opposing side of the field. That's obviously against what Bill Snyder wants to see out of his team.
All right.
When we talk about penalties.
This is kind of this could be a record. It's 1st and 42.
Wow.
1st and 42.
I don't know if I've ever heard that. That's unbelievable.
How many yards is it back to Manhattan? Hey, guys, get me a donut at Varsity Donuts while you're there.
And now Waters has to use a timeout. The play clock was down to 4, and he wasn't set. If you're Kansas, you're feeling pretty good, even though you've turned the ball over here in the 3rd quarter. 7:25 to play here in Lawrence. (21-10) the score. 7:25 to play in the 3rd quarter. We have a very interesting situation that's developing here. All right, so Kansas State, they needed to get to the 17.5 for a first down. The drive, the series began at the 28. Look where the penalties have shot them back to.
That is unbelievable. And obviously a big chunk of that yardage has been because of the 2 15-yarders, one on an illegal block, and another one, I don't remember what it was, but man, 1st and 42.
Look at that number on the bottom, boys. Look at that. 1st and 42 for K-State. Ball sits on the 40. Lockett's in motion. They fake the handoff to him. Waters will keep it. And he gets up close to the 45. Isaiah Johnson makes the tackle.
And only reason, honestly, here you are, 1st and 42. There's not many plays in the playbook that can get you 42 yards in one try, okay? But I do like this because guess what they're doing, guys? They're going with the quarterback run because I can feel that they're trying to set up that quarterback play-action pass that they've had. Talking about Kansas State's offense, so much success with. They scored 2 touchdowns off of it in the first half. I have a sense that that's going to be coming here. Watch out, Kansas defense.
So 2 fullbacks in the game, Nemechek and Gronkowski. Those guys are kind of like H-backs in that backfield. And now Waters out of the shotgun. Play clock at 2, just gets it off. He's going to throw on 2nd down and long. Looking long to the far side for Lockett, and it is intercepted by Kansas. Isaiah Johnson is 5th of the year.
And that's how you do it, guys. Because our guy Isaiah Johnson, he's given help to Shepard. And he does a beautiful job of it because what he does is he reads the quarterback. He's watching the quarterback's mannerisms. He's watching his eyes. And then lastly, what Isaiah Johnson's going to watch is the quarterback's hand come off the ball. Usually when that hand comes off the ball, that's when the ball's coming out. And he's like playing a center fielder there. Does a nice job going up and getting the ball at its highest point. A huge turnover for this Kansas defense now. Continuing with the momentum. Now can their offense turn this around and turn it into points, James?
Kansas at the 15.
Well, it's 1st down for the 15. K-State showing blitz from the near side. Evans, and here comes some flags. Line judge threw the flag from the near side.
A false start by number 12 of the offense. The 5-yard penalty, and it's still 1st down.
Christian Matthews, one of the receivers, moved.
Well, fortunately for KU, they don't have as much room to back it up. You know what's interesting, too, guys, about Isaiah Johnson, just a sophomore, he actually started, and he leads the team in interceptions now with 5, but he actually started as a wide receiver at Western Carolina. I think he's caught more balls now from quarterbacks than he did at Western Carolina as a receiver.
On 1st down and 15, passes complete to the 22 to Josh Ford.
Guys, I'm going to tell you, we've watched Jake Heaps. This will be the 3rd time this year. And he looks as comfortable in the pocket as I have seen him this year. You can tell that I think this offense is finally starting to settle into where now it's becoming instinctive. He no longer is having to think it and overthink it, overanalyze it. It's becoming a part of him, and I think we're seeing that right now. And this is one thing that I think Charlie Rice wanted to see since he put him in the game.
2nd down and 3 from the 22. He'll throw again. Slant caught. Oh, man, what a hit. Schellenberg applied the hit on Christian Matthews, but it's a 1st down. Take a look, and you can also take a listen to this hit down on the field.
Matthews. Man, guys, and there's nothing that builds your confidence more than when your receiver does that right there, goes over the middle, catches a tough pass for you, for your quarterback. Nice job there by Christian Matthews.
And Schellenberg filling in for Ty Zimmerman. A pass is tipped and intercepted. Off the fingertips of Mundine, picked up by Barnett, and Barnett takes it inside the 40. Another drop pass. This one, though, results in an interception.
3rd drop of the day. Big 41. Hate to beat a dead Jayhawk, but that's exactly what's going on here. You're going to see big Jamae Mundine, a nice route over the middle of the field and a beautifully thrown football. Double, triple catches it, bobbles it around, and puts it right up in the breadbasket of Dante Barnett, the sophomore from Tulsa. It's just too easy, and it's a Kansas offense. You take out the drops, and they may be on top in this football game right now.
Charlie Weiss said that even about last week against Iowa State, they may not have won the game, but they would have at least scored in last week's ball game. Here's Hubert. And Hubert falls forward to the 32, a gain of 6 on the play. All right, so now 4 turnovers by Kansas, 2 on the last 2 drives.
Yeah, that's been huge. And, you know, Kansas defense has responded in these, between quotations, sudden death situation, and that's when your offense turns the ball over. And as a defense, you got to go back out on the field. And this, again, is going to test the resiliency of this Kansas defense.
Hubert again will run it on 2nd down. He tries to spin away from Heaney. Heaney makes the tackle. Short gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down.
And that was a nice play by Heaney there, just cleaning up. You know, he had a couple guys run through there, basically eat up some blockers for him. He scrapes, and basically all that means is coming close off his defensive lineman and makes a nice tackle there to set up a 3rd down. This is big for Kansas right now.
He's really fun to watch. He doesn't get himself in trouble. You say cleaning up, and that's just what he does. Doesn't get mixed up in the thick of it. Needs to step up now and help his Jayhawks get off the field one more time on 3rd and short.
And on 3rd and short, they run the option. Hubert was deep, but he's able to get the 1st down. He bounces across the 25, and he runs hard to the 19. He took Linton right with him across the 1st down marker and then across the 25.
Yeah, that read option play to the pitch is what is giving Kansas's defense most problems. You see here, they got the quarterback taken care of, but then the pitch is where they just don't got numbers. And that's obviously because Gronkowski, the fullback for Kansas State, is doing a nice job blocking those guys who are responsible for the pitch there. Looks like we got a player down here.
That's John Hubert, who was injured on that run. He has the helmet off. Look at that day. 22 rushes, 150 yards.
Well, of all the positions on the football field, guys, the running back position takes the biggest amount of a beating. And that's because every single play they touch the ball, they got 11 guys on the other side of the ball wanting to knock them out of the game. You see Hubert there walking off on his own power, which obviously is a good sign.
Hubert with 898 yards now on the season, thanks to what he's done today. He has 150 yards. That's 30 less than the entire Kansas team. On 1st down from the 19. Gronkowski in the backfield. Plenty of time on the play clock. And some movement on the part of the Jayhawks. I think it was Keon Stowers who jumped.
Offsides by number 98 of the defense. A 5-yard penalty, and it's still 1st down.
Big senior from junior rather, from Rock Hill, South Carolina. There's some great talent, some talented kids that have come out of South Carolina here as of late, in a big rivalry in the state of South Carolina today. South Carolina and Clemson going at it. Davion Clowney, of course, a South Carolina kid right here in that Rock Hill area.
Into the game for the first time, guys, is Robert Rose, the 5'4" senior out of Miami, Florida. He'll take the handoff. He's wearing number 5, and he's bouncing away from Gronkowski, and there's just nothing doing. Stood up by Michael Reynolds, Jordan Tavai.
You get one guy that wins that battle up along that defensive front. Boom, great job coming up and getting Gronkowski stuffed. You see him get up there and get stoned. I think that might have been Heaney that came up and met him in the hole. But unlike a couple of those plays ago where you saw everybody just get washed down, and then you've got a back that really can get going, put that foot in the ground, use his vision. But when you've got a backer comes up and gets some penetration, stuffs it like that, that's the result right there.
All right, good news, guys, for K-State. Hubert is back in, 150 yards. It'll be a quarterback keep by Waters. He has some room across the 10, the 5. He tries for the pylon, but they'll say he's out of bounds inside the 1.
Wow, I mean, that's, you know, you look at that play, guys, you're going to see Hubert goes one way, Waters goes the other. It's really a broken play for Kansas State, but yet Waters is almost able to run this ball in for a touchdown here on a broken play.
The ruling on the field is that the runner was out of bounds before he hit the pylon. 1st down.
He hits the pylon.
I think that's a touchdown.
The previous play is under further review.
It's that launch foot. And look, guys, there's grass. There's green in between the foot and that white line.
And I don't think he lands on the ground before.
No, he doesn't.
He hits the ball to the pylon, so that's a touchdown.
Well, a couple of great shots, and take a look at this one here. Look, his foot is inbounds.
Nice shot, guys.
Boom, pylon. Well, this is a sharp camera angle right there, and that's what the replay official is taking a look at along with us.
Yeah,
If
but
it's
again,
not a score, it'll be marked at the 1 yard line.
But again, guys,
that's our best look right there.
Back to that play.
After further review, the runner did not step out of down and hit the pylon with the ball. Touchdown.
I think we're in agreement. That's a very good call by the officiating crew.
Again, and it's great improvisation skills there by Water, because that play was completely just a bum discombobulated play from the get-go. But hey, he makes something out of nothing, and Waters not being known to be the the runner when you're talking about corners between Sams and Waters, but here he does a nice job getting into the end zone. And he was smart there too, because that's the instinct when you're a runner. You go to the corner of the end zone and you basically extend that ball out to the pylon, because you know if you can hit that pylon before you go out of bounds, it's a touchdown.
Patterson's on for the point after. It's good. It's 28-10. Kansas State on top of Kansas. Back and forth with penalties and turnovers here in the second half, but K-State goes back on the board. Kansas State has now two touchdowns off of 4 turnovers from Kansas so far. Waters runs it in. 5 plays, 38 yards. A 15-yard touchdown run. Kansas will get it back as Patterson will tee it up at the 35 with 3:10 to play here in the third quarter. Shepard back deep to receive. He's going to return this one from the 2 on the far side. Comes from a diagonal across the 20. It is tripped up across the 25 to the 26. Time now for the Nissan Heisman Watch. All right, boys, there's been a lot of debate. Ballots went out last week. What do you think?
Here's my guy, A.J. McCarron. After the dust settles, I think he'll be the guy. I think that Alabama in pole position, of course, to win another national championship, and A.J. McCarron has led the charge and has gone from a game manager to a guy who can win the football game. He certainly doesn't lose them. The problem is he hasn't had to go win them that much.
I think you're right, James. I agree. A.J. McCarron's your guy. Tonight's going to be a big test for them as they take on Auburn.
Obviously, all the things that are following Jameis Winston off the field may have hurt his candidacy. As McKay makes the reception up to the 35. It's a gain of 9 on the play, so he's going to be a yard shy of a first down.
But again, here's another opportunity for Kansas to take a shot. Here you got in this waist down between quotations. Take a shot downfield. See what you got.
Second down and 1. A quick look over to the sidelines. Urban in the game in the backfield. He'll take the handoff, running left, steps inside, and hurdles himself toward the first down marker. Well, it's time now for a game break. Here is Patrick O'Neill. Patrick?
And here's evidence in the case for Braxton Miller helping to lead Ohio State over Michigan. Braxton, with his 3rd rushing touchdown, has over 100 yards. It's 28-21. Win or lose, Ohio State will still play Michigan State in the Big Ten Championship game next Saturday on Fox. Wonder who you guys like in that one.
Well, I like Ohio State the way Braxton Miller's been playing. I don't know about you guys. And McKay makes another reception for a first down for Kansas.
We're defensive guys, you know. Urban's a buddy of mine, so it's hard to go against Urban, but it's also hard to go against a defense that is, from start to finish, just been the top defense in the nation. It certainly will be a good matchup. And guys, how about this? Braxton Miller doesn't miss the 2+ games. He got injured his knee against San Diego State. He may be the front runner right now.
Oh, absolutely. Over the middle, the pass is short for McKay on first down.
You know, one thing, go back, Urban, of course, coached the Florida Gators. Our sons played Little League Baseball together. And when he was calling games, he went and called an Ohio State game. I'll let him run this play, but I've got an interesting story just on his mindset and coaching these players.
All right, K-State showing blitz. Heap's in trouble. Steps away from the trouble. He throws. It's incomplete. Intended for McKay. Broken up by Daly. And McKay is down on the ground.
Yeah, McKay's, you know, thrown a little bit behind, but when you're fighting to stay in a big rivalry game, you got to hang on to that one. He's banged up a little bit, the junior from Kansas City. Here he is, bottom of your screen.
See, the problem there, guys, is he's slowed down on his route. You got to explode. As soon as you cut, you got to explode across that field like you've been shot out of a shotgun.
And he took his eyes off. I don't know what checking behind him, but just to finish up, was so upset. Came back, Kenny Guyton. He watched him the whole game on the sidelines as the backup.
A third down, Heaps to throw, going long. We've got a tie-up. It was Rodriguez Coleman who was tied up with Kip Daly, and flags come flying. We're going to get to that story, James, in a minute. We are.
They're going to give us a chance with these flags. Boy, it's good to see Coleman back out there, too. Long of the short, was so upsetting to him. Braxton Miller played in this game that he called.
Pass interference by number 7 of the defense. The 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
He watched Kenny Guyton, and that was the point that he took away from the game. He said, I watched Kenny Guyton on that sidelines, and there's another look at the penalty. And he didn't have a headset on, wasn't involved in the game, and it really was disturbing to him. So the next year when he took over the job, who had to come in and win the game against Purdue to keep it an undefeated season?
Yeah, there you go. On first down, a run play.
And that, Tom, is how you tell a great story and you really mess it up with flags and football.
Hey, but you got to give Brandon Berman some credit there. A nice hard run on the edge there. He had some great blocking out there on the edge, too. Really sealing off the defensive line of Kansas State there to open up a nice hole for a 7-yard gain.
Schellenberg makes the tackle. He has 5 tackles right now for Kansas State. Wildcats showing blitz from the near side. Evans is charging from the near side. The handoff to Bourbon again, and he is stood up. He just has to hold on to the football. That ball nearly came loose again. It'll be third down. Trey Walker makes the tackle for K-State. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and I wonder if Charlie Weiss is trying to send James Sims a little bit of a message. I haven't seen him out here on this drive yet. I don't know if he's been put on the bench, but Bourbon's been getting the majority of the carries here. And you look at the rushing battle right there. Obviously, Kansas State has doubled the output of Kansas today, which has been the difference in today's game.
On third down, Heaps to throw. Slant complete to the near side for Matthews. He's got a first down at the 24. Stepped in front of Randall Evans.
Well, he almost had it ripped away. It did a great job there, did Matthews, with his body. You know what boxing out is around here, that's for sure. And he walls them off, and they will give it to him quickly. Make sure they can't look at it. And that's exactly what they're doing there, guys. They didn't want to take a chance, let the review go. So Heaps quickly snapping it, and you know, it's not like it's 3rd and 1. It's first down and 10. He dives forward for 2 yards, though.
That may be the final play of this third quarter. 10 seconds and counting to play, and that will be it. Heaps coming over to the sidelines. That's going to be it for the third quarter. So just one score in this third quarter. It was a touchdown run by Jake Waters, has given K-State a 28-10 lead. Fox College football presented by K Jewelers will return after these messages. KU fans getting loosened up for the fourth quarter. A little potato sack race. They trail at 28-10. One network, one night, one great doubleheader. 16th ranked North Carolina battles UAB, followed by 3rd ranked Kentucky taking on Providence. 2 legendary teams coming to Fox Sports 1. And it all starts tomorrow at 6 p.m. as Mundine goes over the middle and can't hang on that pass play.
And that's right where the ball needed to be placed. Sorry, Mike Mundine. I mean, that really was right where you needed to throw the ball. It was low and outside, away from the defender. Mundine has got to come down with that. He has to bring it into those particular plays, and they're low like that. You got to get your hands underneath the ball, then you got to roll. And it's a technical thing, but Jake Heaps needs some help here.
Well, it's 3rd down and 8. Off the play fake, Heaps to throw, lofts it for Mundine, and it's intercepted right at the goal line. Barnett's will run it back with his 2nd interception of the day, and he's thrown down at the 30-yard line. 5 turnovers, boys.
Yeah, and that's just a telegraphed pass there by Jake Heaps. I mean, he's looking at Mundine. You're going to see it right here the whole way down as Mundine, he's running the seam there. And you're going to see he's staring right at him, and Barnett's he's reading the quarterback like I talked about earlier with Kansas's interception. You're just looking at that quarterback following his eyes, and as soon as his hand comes off the ball, you know he's going to throw it. He's not pump faking you anywhere. And Barnett did a nice job of going up and getting an interception and getting his defense out of a precarious situation there, being deep in their own territory.
So a season high 5 turnovers for Kansas. They've turned it over 3 times in this half alone. On first down for K-State, they lead it 28-10, and we're probably going to get a big dose of this guy as long as he can get positive yards. And that's John Hubert, who nearly broke it loose, but Dexter McDonald takes him down at the 46.
I think he's feeling okay. He was helped off the field earlier, and he's back to his old ways. Guys, how about Dante Barnett? Not only is he good against the pass, as we've seen here today, he's really good against the run. Just a sophomore. Ty Zimmerman, you really hate to see that injury to the other safety there, the starter for Kansas State, out with the leg injury. But Schellenberg has done a good job filling in for him. Good safety play today for the Wildcats.
Yeah, they've been a big part of the turnovers forced by KU. It's first down from the 46. Hubert will take the handoff, and he's hit behind the line of scrimmage, so a loss of 1 on the play. Jordan Tavai makes his second tackle. He's second down at 11. Guys, Hubert's just 2 yards away from his career high in rushing. He was just 1 yard away, but that loss of 1 pushes him back.
Well, I'm sure he's going to get more opportunities here
I would think so.
to get a new personal best here in rushing yards.
He's out as a receiver. 4 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side for K-State. This is all up to Waters. The only protection is the offensive line. Passes completes to the near side for Sexton, who's inside KU territory.
You know, that's tough on a defense. When you put 4 wide receivers to a side, that's a formation that's rarely ever practiced against. And you see right there, Kansas did not have Sexton D'd up. They had no man assigned to him. And then Waters just took what the defense gave him, and easy again. Throw and catch right there by Waters to Sexton.
Nemechek checks in. So does Trujillo. Zach Trujillo had the touchdown reception earlier in the game for K-State. And now a timeout is called by the Wildcats.
Kansas State calls their second timeout of the half.
13:09 to play here in the fourth quarter. Bill Snyder trying to win the Sunflower Showdown yet again.
It certainly has, you know, interesting. Clint Bowen, defensive coordinator for Kansas, said everybody talks about Baylor and how innovative that offense is. This is the one, if you really look at it, with all such a great quarterback run package and so many run pass options like they had there.
Yeah, now if he had an opening, he would have thrown the ball, but Heaney kind of closed the gap on him, so he had to just take that dive forward, and it'll be third down.
Yeah, what Kansas did right there, a very nice job of, is they stayed in coverage because they felt their coverage guys all going into pass routes. And as a cover guy, you got to respect that. You got to go with those guys, and then you've got to leave your front 7 guys like Heaney to stop the run, which Waters ended up doing right there because all of his receivers were covered downfield.
Check that, boys. It's second down and a little more than 10 from just outside the 40. 12 and a half to play here in the fourth quarter. Kansas State trying to win for the 7th time this year. Quick toss to the far side for Lockett. Incomplete. Third down.
Yeah, and to talk about how innovative this offense is for Kansas State. When the quarterback becomes a critical or a big part of the running game, it just really stresses a defense out, guys, because there's really nobody assigned to the quarterback, because in conventional offenses, the quarterbacks, they're running the bootlegs or the faking, their play action. They're not even part of the play in a lot of these play action passes or running situations. And so to add the quarterback as a legitimate running threat to the running game that Snyder did a number of years back has really made that a theme that has taken off, not only in college football, but you've seen it happen in the pros.
Play clock down to 3. Waters takes the snap, has time, steps up, fires, passes complete to Sexton, and he has a first down of the 29. It's a gain of 11. Move the chains. I think the other point too is that everybody that's out there is a pass receiver. There's an option, whether it be Gronkowski, Trujillo, obviously Hubert out of the backfield.
Right, and you look at this offense, and a lot of times you'll see 2 big tight ends in there, and Gronkowski in there, fullback. How many fullbacks do you see across college football this day and age? Yet they're in there not just to maul you, but they're also in there, like you say, Tom, to go catch a pass and really burn you, change it up on you.
Well, here's Hubert spinning, and he gets maybe a yard on the play, depending on the spot. Darius Willis, who's wearing number 2 for Kansas today, normally a number 52 on his uniform. And he may have gained 1 on the play. It'll be second down. They're going to say he didn't gain anything. Second down and 10. Clint Bowen talked about Darius Willis, who was a starter under Kendall Gill, and then when the regime change took place here, he was no longer a starter, and they said he accepted it extremely well, continue to work out, and continue to be a leader. And this is senior year. They wanted to make sure they pointed his name out more often than not this week for what he's been able to do for this program. As Agostino makes the tackle, it'll be 3rd down and 10.
Tom, that's one of the hardest things to deal with. You know, I've dealt with it a couple times. I don't know about you, James, to where here you are, the starter, you know your role, you're prepping all week as the first team guy, and all of a sudden they come and say, hey, actually, you got to go back down to scout team.
Yeah.
And you're demoted, and it really, from a leadership perspective, is very difficult. So that says a lot there about Darius Willis and his character, about how he continued to work, continued to be the leader, even though he was demoted between quotations. And lo and behold, he's out there playing ball now for the Kansas Jayhawks.
On 3rd down, K-State with an option. Read well by Kansas. Hubert still running hard, and he gets down to the 26. So a gain of 3.
Here's Ben Heaney, 78 tackles coming into this game. He's going to come flying outside. You'll see him coming right along here from his linebacker spot. He doesn't make the tackle, but he does. He has to fight. I have seen so many times number 31 in that Jayhawk uniform. As soon as that ball snapped, he goes flying to where he fits into this offense. It burnt him on that last Waters touchdown run, but he does a great job of letting his teammates make the tackles, forcing the ball inside, forcing a field goal try.
This will be a 43-yard field goal attempt by Patterson. It's tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it's no good. So Keon Stowers got a hand on that boot for me, and Patterson. It remains 28-10. K-State is on top by 18. Kansas State on top 28-10. Fox Sports is proud to team with Feeding America, a nationwide network of food banks that helps feed more than 37 million people in America each year through pantries, soup kitchens, and shelters. Visit feedingamerica.org/Fox to learn more. You can fight hunger in your community. You might have seen the pins that we were wearing today. That is for Feeding America. James Sims back in the game for Kansas on 1st down. Heaps to throw. Going long to the far side. It's incomplete. Tried to find McKay, who's been the busiest receiver today.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a misthrow there by Jake Keefs, because where he really wants to get the ball is on this side of the receiver, because you see all that space on the sideline there. That's to the advantage of the receiver, but you could sort of see that the ball was inside a little bit too much to where McKay really couldn't make a play on it.
Kip Daly in on the coverage. It's 2nd down and 10 from the 26. Kansas has had the ball 4 times in this half. The other 3 times they've turned it over, and that was nearly intercepted, intended for Mundine. Schellenberg was there. Trey Walker was there. Blake Slaughter was there.
Yeah, they had that pretty much covered with 3 guys. And like James always talks about, what Kansas does really well is what they call vice angles. And basically what it is, whoever catches the ball, all defenders are surrounding the ball carrier at the right angles to where you just give him nowhere to go. And if Mundine would have caught the ball there, he'd have been down for no extra gain after the catch.
3rd down at 10. Heaps in trouble, dancing around, stays behind the line of scrimmage, but throws another interception. Dorian Roberts to the far side. Mundine takes him down. Turnover number 6. So they've turned it over all 4 times they've had the ball in this half.
They were the story last year. They led the Big 12 with +19 turnover margin last year. It hasn't always been the case this season for Kansas State, but boy, if they poured it on today. You saw the 4 here in the second half alone. Another big interception. Some of them Kansas just trying to fight to make plays. Some of them just way too easy. Like these 2 plays here, the 2 back-to-back interceptions. And then this one, it's Dorian Roberts, another senior, getting involved.
And here's Hubert, a career high on the ground today, bounces down across the 15. Hey guys, how about 18 turnovers forced by K-State in their last 6 games?
Wow. And guys, if you look at statistics, obviously the number 1 statistic that ultimately determines the outcome of the game is the points on the scoreboard.
Sure.
Number 2, and close for 2 for 2nd and 3rd, is rushing yards, winning the rushing battle, and then turnover. The point is if you can win that turnover battle, you are going to win around 80% of your games dating all the way back to 2000. So that's a huge emphasis for this Kansas State team, and they're doing a nice job of it today.
On 2nd down and 2, Hubert has the 1st down to the 10-yard line. Dexter Litton with the tackle, and Hubert with a career high running the football today. Not only career high in running the ball, but career high in carrying the ball.
You know, and Kansas State fans will look at that and say, well, wait a minute. Last week he had the 9 carries, just 17 yards. And that's because Mike Stoops, Bob's brother there at Oklahoma, decided we're going to bring everybody in the box, just bury them in there. And Tyler Lockett ended up hurting him. You know what's funny, though? At the end of the day, it was still the same average yards and points that Kansas State usually gets on offense.
Here's Waters, who was trying to improvise off the quarterback keep. He lost 4 on the play.
That looked like the touchdown run he had earlier in the game.
Read better by Michael Reynolds this time, though.
Yeah, but I mean, here it is again. It seems like to where the running backs are going one way, Waters is running out the other way. I don't know if that's design. I can't imagine it being a design play because there's no blockers leading the way for Waters there. But maybe he thought, hey, it worked the first time. Might as well try it again.
7:45 to play here in the 4th quarter. K-State became bowl eligible with their 6th victory of the season. Pretty good chance they're going to go to the Holiday Bowl in San Diego, which is not a bad trip at all for the alums and the student body. That pass is dropped by Lockett on the far side. Dexter McDonald was in on the coverage.
You know, this is one of those back shoulder fades that become very popular in all of football. And you're going to see here Lockett, he's going to press up, give it look like they're going to go back into the corner of the end zone, and then at the last second turn back. That's what a back shoulder fade is. But right there, the ball just wasn't put on the back shoulder literally of Lockett, and that's why it went incomplete there. But a good idea, because that back shoulder fade down in the red zone like this is almost undefendable.
Well, it's 3rd and goal from the 14 for K-State. Play clock is down to 5. Thompson in motion. Waters to throw. Pass is incomplete, intended for Thompson. So 4th down, and we'll probably see Patterson again. At least I think we'll see him again.
Yeah, that was a nice play there by the defense of Kansas State. And that, I'm sorry, but Kansas. And the reason why that pass went incomplete was because Kansas was bringing the house. Red rushing 8 guys there. And what that did is that hurried up Waters and his progression and his fundamentals to where his feet weren't set. And his arm wasn't really, you know, he wasn't throwing through his motion, and the ball really short and hopped to the receiver.
This will be a 31-yard attempt by Patterson. He made a 28-yarder last week, middle of the field. The snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is good by plenty. 31-10, Kansas State is on top. 7:21 to play here in the 4th quarter. Bill Snyder's team has forced a boatload of turnovers, and they've run out to a comfortable lead. Embry and Shepard are back deep to receive for the Jayhawks. Patterson really gets into this one, and Shepard will let it go over his head and out of the back of the end zone. So it'll be 1st down from the 25 for the Jayhawks. 7:21 to play here in the 4th quarter in Lawrence. Let's check in with Patrick O'Neill with a game break. Patrick?
Tom, thanks. Florida State trying to take care of business in the swamp versus Florida. Jameis Winston, a great adjustment by Kelvin Benjamin. His 3rd touchdown reception of the day. 34-7 for FSU. Tom, please let James Bates know it's not personal, but Gators going to fall to 4-8 on the year.
Well, I don't think he's taking it personally from you, Patrick, but he may be taking it personally.
No, you don't know, Tom. Our relationship, I do take it personally because Patrick has never given me a good update in game on my Gators.
Cozart back in the game as the quarterback. Sims horse-collared as he takes it to the 35. Trey Walker's going to be called for that penalty.
You can see the horse collar right there.
Yeah.
By number 50, Trey Walker there.
Personal foul, a horse collar tackle by number 50 of the defense. The 15-yard penalty, and it's 1st down.
Man, that used to be the ideal way in that situation. If you're trailing a running back, to take him down to the ground is grab the back of your pads. My brother did that to me when I was a young little boy. I thought, man, that's a heck of an idea. And then lo and behold, Roy Williams, one of those big physical safeties for the Dallas Cowboys for a number of years, made that one of his staples. He's hurt too many guys, and now it's become an illegal form of tackling.
Well, on 1st down, Cozart will hand it off to Bourbon. Bourbon running left and gets to the 49. You saw that graphic. Turnovers have been a big reason why K-State has this 31-10 lead. Got to take care of the football.
Yeah, and you see Trey Walker there. You know what? He goes and grabs a guy by the horse collar, throws him down, but then he backs that up with a nice form tackle there on Bourbon for a 1-yard gainer. I really like these linebackers for Kansas State there.
Second down and 9. Cozart going long to the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. His intended receiver was Matthews, and Schellenberg tied him up. There's a flag down.
Number 79 of the offense. A 10-yard penalty and replay second down.
Riley Spencer, the senior.
Yeah, he had number 44 there, Ryan Mueller, screening around the edge, and that's all Spencer really could do was hold him. Or if not, Cozart would have been sacked there by the sack artist, Ryan Mueller.
Well, you talk about those linebackers, and it's showed up there on that play too. I mean, that's a 6'3", 225-pound linebacker. Look at Blake Slaughter, 5'10", 227, leading the team in tackles there from the middle spot. And, you know, remember, he was redshirted last year after 4 starts as a sophomore. And, you know, last year it was Arthur Brown running the show, Big 12 Player of the Year.
Cozart's bumped in the backfield, hit again, and then spun down at the 38. Marquell Bryant makes the tackle. Guys, you both played college football. You know this kind of style going after the quarterback and what the right thing to do is.
Well, you also know that you can't make plays on the ground. This is Bryant right here at the bottom of the screen. Watch him. Down on the ground, he misses. Get up off the ground, go make a play. Boy, that's just want to. That's effort right there by a sophomore out of Skyline High School in Dallas.
And guys, when you're up 31-10 late in the 4th quarter as a defense, you know what's coming. So as a defense, you're pinning your ears back and coming after the passer.
Yeah, they're pressuring Cozart. The pass is deflected. Dorian Robertson on the coverage of McKay. James, you talked about Slaughter and the fact that he redshirted last year. How tough of a decision is that? I mean, I know it's enhanced his season this year, but how tough of a decision is that?
Oh my goodness, just when you're really starting to get lathered up and contribute to this team, to this defense. As it turns out now, it's a wise decision. He's the star of the show right there in the middle, and it was the Arthur Brown show last year. And, you know, now in the NFL. But look at what that does if you're mature enough to where you can handle it, how much you can grow that year of watching.
You gotta check your ego sometimes with that too, as Thompson calls for the fair catch. That was a good punt by Pardula. 31-10 the score. K-State on top. 5:36 to play. Bill Snyder has that walk of confidence. Well, Kansas State knows they're going to go bowling. This win today will certainly secure a good one. They're up 31-10. It's first down from just outside the 15. John Hubert, who's had a record day in the backfield, stays in the game with 5:36 to play here in the 4th quarter. It's been Jake Waters for most of the day for the 2nd straight week. Here's Hubert outside the numbers, along the sideline, steps inside, and he bursts into KU territory. Reynolds eventually makes the tackle. This is a big-time day for John Hubert.
He has done it all. A great put the foot in the ground, one cut and go. And he's also got some shake, as he shows you there in the open field. And when you've got guys hustling down the field to just get in the way of a few guys and help you spring those big runs, man, behind Gronkowski's blocks, been leading the way. You got to make sure you tip the cap to that big fullback who's done a fantastic job. But this has been Hubert just running things here today.
How about 968 yards now on the ground for the year, thanks to the 220 today. Waters will keep it himself. He may have lost a yard on the play. McKinney and Reynolds make the tackle for KU.
He was close to hitting 1,000 on the year, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. See that career high in carries, career high in yards. It's the most yards, the first time that a K-State player has gone over 200 yards rushing since Daniel Thomas did it against North Texas in 2010. Flags come flying.
An illegal substitution by number 89 of the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still second down.
It did seem like they were a little discombobulated with the personnel that they wanted on the field. There were 12 guys in the huddle, and they tried to get rid of one, but they couldn't. So second down and about 16 from the 49.
Second and 16.
I don't know, it just gives Hubert more real estate to try to chew up some clock and get closer to 1,000 yards on the year. Waters to throw. That's time. Going long. Middle of the field for Lockett. It's tipped and it's incomplete. Ja'Cory Shepherd who's been covering Lockett most of the day, broke that one up.
And he did a nice job there of really just, and he's done a nice job all day on Lockett. We really haven't heard a lot from him, and we haven't had to because Hubert's done such a nice job. You're going to see right there, Shepard doing a nice job of just staying relative to Lockett without interfering with him and then making a play on the ball. But one thing that we need to remember, guys, with Hubert, yeah, he's rushed for 220 yards, but James, you and I saw a couple of weeks ago where this Kansas Jayhawk front seven dominated Oklahoma State in the running game. And so this isn't just some every average day defense that Hubertson runs, but this is a decent front seven.
K-State guys wanted pass interference on Curry Sexton, but Dexter McDonald got away with one there. It'll be 4th down, and K-State will punt the ball away.
Yeah, you mentioned, Brady, that Shepard, we haven't heard too much from him today, but he has really gotten the workload throughout the season because teams don't really go at Dexter McDonald. And you look at it, they've got Kevin Short, who's a cornerback that's redshirting. You really look at all these juniors and redshirt juniors that are coming back. Heck, Nick Harwell is by far the best receiver they've got on the team, is redshirting right now. He'll be a 5th-year guy next year.
Rouse just gets that punt off, and Embry's just going to let it bounce, and it bounces at the 18, takes a K-State roll, and it goes inside the 15 to the 14. 3:54 to play here in the 4th quarter. It's time for our Right Stuff Player of the Game, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
And John Hubert's done it in all sorts of different ways. You're talking about running, using power right there to get yards, and you're going to see him right here using moves, spinning, dipping, diving to gain yards. And then right here, you're going to see him use his patience, burst up through the field as he sees the hole for another touchdown. And all those traits, when you talk about vision, power, speed, explosiveness, elusiveness, John Hubert has put them on display today, and that's why he's the player of the game.
Ozark continues to run the offense for KU. Pass is complete to the near side, and then it's fumbled, but Charles Brooks was down. By the way, the 200 yards rushing by Hubert's the first time in 10 years that Kansas's defense has given up a 200-yard day.
And that's impressive. I mean, we can't discount Hubert's effort today, guys. It has been an impressive effort by Hubert, and obviously that Kansas State offensive line, because obviously we're talking about Hubert, Hubert, but that offensive line from Kansas State deserves a lot of credit, too. They've been blocking their tails off, and they have controlled the line of scrimmage today. 2nd
down at 8, Kozart to throw. Quick pass to the outside, caught again by Brooks. And Brooks tackled by Schellenberg at the 21.
You know, in the beginning, we talked about how Kansas State had to force Kansas into explosive gains, right? And to make those to be in the game. And the reality is they did it by doing 2 things. They've handled the running game, Kansas State has, of Kansas's. And then they've created a deficit to where really you can't afford to run the ball if you're Kansas, if you expect to get back into this game. So Kansas State did exactly what they needed to do today, and that is make Kansas beat you with explosive plays, and they haven't been able to do that.
Kozar keeps it, and he may have lost a yard on the play. Leighton Dowling makes the tackle for K-State. We're under 2.5 minutes now to play here in this 4th quarter.
You know, that's Montel Kozart. Brady, you mentioned it, how you said James always talking about the vice angles there on defense. Here's a play. They've gotten a steady dose of heaps. Then they've got a little trickery with Montel Kozart, who can go, pulls it out on the keeper, comes out, and sure enough, 1, 2, 3, right beautiful. There to bottle them up.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It has been start to finish. It really is a well-coached defense.
4th down, Kozart is taken down. Flags come flying, and he is sacked at the 11. DeMonte Hood.
Holding by number 64 of the offense. Penalties declined. It's 1st down.
Well, Randall Dent called for the holding, and it just didn't matter. And K-State will take over on downs with 2:03 to play.
Look at the big red shirt freshman. It's all good in the hood, baby. You see that dance afterwards? And a little hip bump to boot. Man, he's fun. Watch the big man here. Here's DeMonte right here. Using those hands. Gonna rip and shed, and he wants a piece. He wants some of this action. Not all seniors today.
Look at him having fun on the sideline. That old school face mask, James. Yeah. Are you kidding me? When was the last time you seen a bar down the face of somebody? That was probably back in the mid-'80s. Last time we've seen that.
He had to have that specially made. On 1st down, the handoff is given to Robert Rose, who runs up the middle, down to the 7. So Ben Goodman makes the tackle for Kansas. 1:49 and counting to play here in the 4th quarter. Bill Snyder has certainly commanded this rivalry He came in 17-4. This will be win number 18. K-State has won 4 straight, now 5 with today's, and now 17 of the last 21. That's dominance, guys.
Bill Snyder, when he first took over, it was a run. This program had gone on 0-26-1.
Here's Rose. He stopped at the 5.
I mean, you talk about turning the tide in the mindset and just turning a program around. Arguably, that's as good a job that has ever been done in college football, what that gentleman has done right there. You know, in between his head coaching stints, he didn't haul out of town. He stayed around, and boy, he loves Manhattan and his Kansas State Wildcats, and they love him right back.
How about during his time off, he was on all those boards trying to keep himself busy, but it turned out he was bored. And he needed to come back and coach again.
You can only watch Pinocchio so many times, right?
40 seconds to play. Waters is taken down at the 9-yard line. Tavai makes the tackle.
You know, people don't know about Bill Snyder from what James says. He's a big Pinocchio fan. I guess he has a lot of Pinocchio dolls floating in his office there, right, James?
Yeah, that's, it's kind of like what happened with Mike Leach and the Pirate, and it's...
No, Bill Snyder is telling his team, wait, hang on, now let's go and celebrate. The final 15 seconds will wind off the clock. K-State has won 5 straight in this rivalry and 17 of the last 21. It was the John Hubert show today. The final score, Kansas State 31 and Kansas 10. Now for James Bates and Brady Papinga. This is Tom McCarthy wishing you a good afternoon from Lawrence, Kansas, where once again the final score, K-State 31, Kansas 10. Coming up after this break, we'll take you back to L.A. to the Fox College Football Studios, presented by K. George. You've been watching Fox College Football.